Rafa, and Donovan.
Welcome back to The Bunt, the number one podcast in skateboarding, brought to you by the number one shoe in skateboarding, Vans. Off the wall since 1960, motherfucking 6. I'm D Jones. I got my main man, the Ghost, with me. We got Richie and Ants One behind the scenes. Ghost, what an absolutely epic weekend. We did our thing in Detroit, and then we came back to celebrating T-Dot. Celebrating style, man. We have our very own Vans shoe, something we're super proud of. Got to collab with one of our good friends, Current Caples. Shout out Current hitting the dunk at Tompkins with the shoe. Some unreal marketing right there. It's a genius, but we're coming off a high, absolutely epic weekend. Shout out everyone showing up to the barbecue and the after party in Toronto. Thank you, everyone. And Ghost, man, what do we say after a weekend like that?
It's bittersweet because the boys just left today. That was like one of the funnest crews assembled. Carlos, one of the best skaters on the planet, graced us with his presence,
and he
who
did.
Knew we could play some ball too. Our boy JP Drunkle, aka Legend, great to see him as always. And Tanner pulling up T-Dot. Sadly, he hurt his ankle last summer when he came up for the Bunt Jam, so it was nice for him to get to come back and actually skate. And he ripped. Bunt video.
Clips.
Woo! Bunt video's coming. Just a little more patience, you dig? But yeah, thank you to everyone who came out. Like Donald said, thanks to the guys for flying to Toronto. Much appreciated. Great times. We'll run it back. And then yeah, the shoe, Vans, everyone behind the scenes who helped out. So hyped, couldn't be more hyped. Looking at my pair right there. About to go cop a nollie flipping them shits one of these days. Yeah, great weekend. On to the next. If you're lucky, I mean, we just put the shoes online like 2 hours ago.
Yes, sir.
They're pretty much gone. So by Wednesday, maybe there's none left, but go check just in case. You know what I'm saying? There might be a pair left if you're lucky, but also hopefully they're gone. You dig?
Yeah, hopefully they're gone, and then we start working on the next one. You know, that's the good news behind them all being gone. The bad news is hopefully everyone that wants one gets one. But you know, major shout out to Vans for making that happen, and another shout out to Current for sure. But Ghost, we got a show to do, man. You know, we like to reminisce on the old times and the good times, but we got to get down to business. This is the number one podcast in skateboarding. This is episode 3 of season 22. What we got popping, man?
Massive episode, long overdue. Big bro, another drunkle back in the day. You know, he's a more chill man these days. None other than Ryan Allan in the building. Ontario legend. I'm not going to say Toronto. You know, you grew up just outside.
Pride of Grimsby.
Yeah, we got a triple OG. My guy, Rai. So stoked to finally get him on the pod. Shoot this shit. Yeah, honored. Rai, I want to say something mean right now, but we're bigging you up
save
right
it
now
for
because
later.
it's the intro.
Yeah, save it for later. And then obviously,
then we take it straight to the
office.
post office, of course, and wrapping it up with some NFL talk rundown. You know what time it is, man. Week 2.
Yeah, the injuries are mounting. But anyways, we'll save that for later. Make sure follow us on Instagram at The Bunt Live. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/@TheBuntLive. Hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/The Bunt. And then head over to our website, thebuntlive.com. Web shop still popping. I think we're out of water bottles, out of the trucker hat, but there's still plenty of stuff. There's ball shorts for everybody, you know, playing ball. It's hot somewhere, man. You in the gym, you could use your shorts. We got fresh tees, and we still got another hat. Like, make it pop on the web shop. And if you're lucky, like we said, the shoes are still there. Ghost, man, me and you were busy this weekend. I didn't get to watch a lot of skating. I didn't get to watch any skating, to be honest with you, except for Carlos and the boys, Tanner doing JP. That's the skating I was watching. Those three are my shout out of the week, but the other people won't get to see that till the Bunt video drops. What is the Ghosts shout out of the week?
You already know what time it is. It's shout out of the week, brought to you by The Den, your spot for all the best skate videos available in premium quality for free. Think back to simpler time. You've been seeing ads in the mags for months, and Minefield has finally dropped. You swing by your local to grab the DVD, round up the homies, and an hour later, the credits roll, and your mind is blown. A lot has changed since then, but you can still enjoy videos in their full glory with The Den, from the classics to the newest releases and everything in between. Download the app on iPhone, Android, the web, or on the big screen with Apple TV and Amazon Fire TV. Yo, couple legends in the game popped off, and I'm talking about the video That's Cool, 12 minutes of straight steez. Go check it out. Noah Mayhew, Raph Langslow, Steez, Boss, Big Old Trays, you name it, they did it. Go check it out. Yeah, Down Under, we out here. Raph, love watching you skate. Keep doing your thing, and good things are coming, my guy. That's Cool, instant classic.
Absolutely. After another weekend out in the streets, skating, slanging beers, you know, when it comes time, me and the Ghost never turn away from a cold beamer. And you know where you can get yours? Public Gardens, with some of the nicest, finest Italian food on the west side of the city. Poppin' nightlife down there on King Street West. So if you know what's good for you, you check it out. Public Gardens. You pair a nice little pepperoni pizza and a cold beamer, baby. You can't get better than that. Ghosts, there's nothing left to be said. It's been a long time coming. Ryan Allan, finally in the building and in the studio. Let's get it poppin'. All right, here we are, live from Studio E with the pride of Grimsby, Ontario, Mr. Ryan Allan in the building. What's cracking, man?
Yeah, it's been a minute. Actually, I've seen Dono sooner than I saw Safa because he bunted on the Drift 20 year. So
you're gonna guilt me right out the gate, eh?
Right out the gate. Yeah, it's been a minute, boys.
Mm-hmm. So, Ryan, we start every show off the same. You got to hit us with your favorite skate moment and your favorite sports moment.
All right, favorite skate moment. Maybe Jeff Rowley's 180 over the containers from a like personally being there experience. It was insane. I literally start shaking like talking about it because it was terrifying. Like you could see your homie die, you know? And then favorite sports moment. Safa knows I fucking hate sports, but I think the Blue Jays, what was it, like a three-peat on the World Series where like
that was back to back. Yeah.
Back to back. It was just two? Okay,
yeah.
I thought I remembered it being three. But it was insane. Like we drove into the city from Grimsby and it was insane to like witness that, even though I didn't give a shit about sports.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sick. Damn. That was before I lived in Toronto. I missed all that excitement.
Dude, it was nuts. Like people burning cars and jumping on shit and Yonge Street just being like ablaze. It was crazy.
Dude, the Joe Carter home run where he's like jumping in the air, running around, walk off.
I already don't know what you're talking about.
That's how they won, man. That's how they won. I was like 4 or 5, so I didn't really see it either, but seen the clips.
Yep. That was a proud moment. Proud moment for sure.
Yeah, back to Rowley for a second. I always think about that with that one and the Jeremy Ray Ollie. Like if you just hit a rock or something.
Yeah,
like,
well, we've all done that thing where you like
game over.
You half step right before you ollie.
Yeah.
You die.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think
that's crazy.
Rowley's one was even higher up. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know how high.
I think those things are like 10 feet each, and it was 4, so 4 from the top one. So
that's
40 feet high, man. At least. And then it's like windy and wobbly and everything's sketchy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Terrifying. Epic photo.
He's a gnar for sure. I literally didn't know what we were doing there. Like we just went the day before and he just dropped it on me like, yeah, I got permission to do this. Like you're shooting it tomorrow.
Fuck.
God damn.
Insane. Yeah. A lot of confidence building right there that he trusted me with that one.
Hell yeah. All right. So Rye, take us back to the beginning. Where'd you grow up and how'd you get into skating?
I grew up in Grimsby, just outside of Toronto. I guess it's like a suburb of Toronto now, which is crazy to me because it seemed like a lifetime away. Like when I was a kid, like the hour drive seemed like forever. But yeah, I grew up in Grimsby, and we used to do family trips down to Florida, like in a motorhome, like full classic summer vacation.
Sick.
And I went to a Ron John surf shop there. I was a BMXer back then. Like I'm maybe 11 years old, and I was like racing BMX bikes. And I went into Ron John surf shop in like Orlando or something, and they had a video that had a BMX and a skateboard on the cover. It was called Curb Dogs. And I was like vibing with it pretty hard. So I grabbed it and brought it home. And in the video, there's like a guy that's like ghost riding on a BMX bike, you know, or surfing it. You stand on the handlebars in the seat, and he acid dropped off that onto a skateboard. And so I went to my homie's house who I knew had a skateboard, and I was like, yo, I want to learn this. And by the end of it, I just wanted to keep the skateboard. So I traded my bike out for the skateboard. And from then on in, and that was I was 12 years old. So a long ass time ago. So that's how the skateboarding part started it. And then the getting out of Grimsby was, took me a while, actually. I didn't leave till like I was 24 or something, but I went to college at Sheridan in Oakville for photography. I wanted to be a fashion photographer back then. And so I did that whole thing. And in doing that, like I met like a lot of Toronto skaters and photographers, the photographer Derek Catella, who was kind of running things in Toronto with like Weiss and Bokma and those guys. Met like Corey Shepard and Paul Otvoss and Wes Lotes, and those guys kind of took me around and shot photos, and they like opened me up to like, it was more like the kids culture, like the movie Kids of like Toronto, you know, and like coming from the small town and like going and crashing in people's lofts in the city with the rich kids they knew and stuff, and like graffiti kids and stuff. Like I got hooked on the city like right after that and became obsessed with skating in the city.
First big break in the skate industry.
Oof. I mean, I guess starting SBC was like a break because there was just Concrete Powder. I don't know if you guys remember that magazine. It was like from Vancouver, and it was like snow and skateboarding. And it was run by Ultimate Distribution. So they had like a bias. Like I would send them photos and they'd be like, this guy doesn't skate for any of the brands we distribute, so we're not going to run it. That would include Appleyard at one point, right? So I was like, wow, really wanted to help out the people that I skated with because I could tell they were good enough, but like couldn't get them in a magazine. So I was kind of bitching to a friend of mine who ran Snowboard Canada. And he was like, why don't you come in and pitch like a magazine to Steve, the publisher of Snowboard Canada? Maybe we could get something going. And so that was the break, right? Like I went in there, pitched that, and like within 2 months, I was at a desk designing a like national magazine that was the size of Transworld.
Crazy. So they were thick back in the day.
I didn't know what I was doing. Like I bullshitted my way in there, and I had no idea. Other than shooting photos, I did not know how to make a magazine. And it shows if you look at the early issues, whoo, rough.
Dude, figured it out though.
So like you said, came up just outside Toronto, Grimsby, but you were coming up at a time when there were so many legendary skaters that, I mean, we didn't know we were going to become legends. The Appleyards of the world, Corey Shepard, etc., Justin Bokma, Andrew Gordon. Can you just take us back to kind of what the city felt like? It was probably a way tinier skate scene than we have today, but just kind of the vibe and the sessions. And did you could you foresee some of these careers and what was happening? Just take us back to those times.
I don't know if you guys know about the skate park Rudy's that used to be in Mississauga. No. It was like this indoor park that this rich kid opened, and he didn't know. It was an incredible park. There's footage on YouTube of like Ed Templeton and Mike V and like Jason Lee skating there, and Thomas Morgan and Weiss and Bokma. And, it was like the meeting place, right? So we would go there, and it was like there was like no rules. It was a shit show, but a most incredible park. It ended up getting shut down because people like broke into like up into the ceiling and like crawled into like another business beside it and robbed it, and like it was so loose.
Fucking Italian job.
But you'd see all the Toronto heads there mixing with, you know, like random pros would just be there. You know what I mean? Salman Agha would just be there one day, And
Wow.
it really was like, oh shit, everyone's like on the same level. So it was like, you really got to see like, oh, these guys are just as good. Like the Thomas Morgans are just as good. And so watching Appleyard and watching this guy, I don't know if you've heard of Mark Freeman, like so many local kids that like didn't go all the way, but where everyone was just as good. And it was like an incredible time where tricks were being created and learned. And it was super rad to watch. And like the city didn't get a ton of exposure back then, like globally, like Transworld did like one article on Toronto and it had all the usual like A and all that dumb, whenever they do an article on Canada, they have all the stupid commentary.
Classic.
And
Yeah.
fucking
all
moose
that
in
stuff.
there.
So, yeah, exactly. That stuff used to drive me crazy. That was like one of the things with SBC that I really wanted to try and like change,
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so sick of these like tours that have Canadian flags on them with a tour or whatever.
And a fucking streetcar in there, all the good stuff.
Yeah, it used to drive me nuts, And so yeah, it was a cool time though. Like, Weiss and Bokma would like drive their shitty car down to Florida and hook up with Bo Turner and like the Tampa skate park dudes. And like, it was this cool connection. And we had a tight connection with Washington, DC and like Chris Hall and these dudes would come up, all the like DC heads. And it was like a really cool time where we were like all traveling in between those places and getting to see that everyone was on the same level. So that inspired me with SBC to be like, oh, like I can show these dudes because they're not below level,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. When you were coming up, who was the most impressive Toronto local though? Who was the one guy that we like?
Appleyard.
Yeah, by far.
Yeah, I mean, he's not Toronto, but fucking by far, like by so much. Like, not nollie flip no slides and stuff like that. Like, no one was doing that. Mark was still in high school, and me, this kid Jeff A, Sean Moe, and all the Beasley heads, all the people from Hamilton, took Mark as like our responsibility to make sure he gets where he needs to be. So like
That's sick.
we all made sure he finished high school. We all like would pick him up, drive him wherever. People would take him to fucking Philly to skate, like all these things to make sure Mark made it. And we used to go to the skate park and train, like watch him do stuff and be like, Mark, all right, this trick. And then he went to Tampa Am and it all happened. Like everything we like watched him practice, he went to Tampa Am, did it and came back fully sponsored and like the talk of the town. It was a rad like thing to witness. Like when someone's got it and then they go do it, it's so cool. I still get a high off of that. Yeah, totally. Like all those guys, we still talk and we still like Mark is still like our success story,
That's so sick.
Yeah.
It really
is, man. I mean, the next question was, can you bless us with an Appleyard story from back in the day? But that Tampa Am one's pretty good. But if you have another, the legend of Appleyard.
He is an interesting character. Mark is also responsible for me getting to California the first time I went to California. So like in like 2001, me and Jesse Landon just hopped in a car after a Circa demo at Shell Park, hopped in a car and drove to Huntington Beach and got an apartment, and Mark moved in with us, basically kicked Jesse out, more or less. Like Mark was like, I'll pay more if I get a room. Jesse, you get the couch. You know what I mean? And like that may have happened without Jesse's knowledge, but so I was living with Mark in Huntington Beach, and he actually helped me get a job at Circa. And Mark would go on these like 2-month flip tours or Circa tours or whatever, alphanumeric. I don't know. He was just always touring. And on one of the trips, like our rooms conjoined there was a bathroom for my room and a bathroom for his room. And there was a locked door in between the two. And Mark would go on trips and he would lock everything out. So like his room was locked in because he had a lot of shit in there. And on one of those occasions, I'm like watching TV in our like sketchy house and it smells really, really bad. Like death. And so I eventually just have to kick Mark's door down to find out what's going on. And in his bathroom were just piles of shit covered t-shirts.
Oh my God.
And so I had to like I threw them all out. And when Mark got back, I was like, yo, like, what the fuck was that? And he was like, oh, I don't pay for t-shirts, but I have to pay for toilet paper.
Oh my!
Well, you can't flush a fucking t-shirt, man. So he just threw it in the garbage can.
Them. Yeah, there's piles on the floor.
That's badass, but like completely disgusting at the same time.
No, he's a savage human. Yeah, savage human.
I mean, it makes sense financially.
Yeah, no, he's like a core human. Like he just survival mode all the time.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's insane. And really disgusting.
And a gnarly part too of that is all those shirts that I threw in the dumpster, I saw a family wearing like a week later.
Oh, why'd you have to throw that in there, man? Like,
yo, come on.
Unnecessary detail.
Because
like, what video clip is Richie going to add into that part of the interview? You know,
that's like 1 in a million stories of Mark, because he's a very, very, very interesting human being.
Mm.
You guys witnessed it when he lived at Adrift. Like,
oh, for sure.
He's a wild one. Love him to death. Wild one.
This would sound harsh. It was such a crazy, cool experience for us at the time, because like worshipped him.
Insane.
But I just remember having that moment of don't meet your heroes. Mm-hmm. Not overall it was amazing, but just it also taught me a lesson though. Like, skaters aren't just a demo 24/7. They're not like. And I remember playing him in skate. I think I've told this story before, but playing him in skate in front of the shop, and specifically doing a nollie back heel because his one down Mach 4 was my favorite one ever. And then he like half flipped it, landed on it upside down, like only rotated 90 degrees. And it was just like, ugh. And I was like, what the, like, I was expecting like
reality,
bolts, like 3
Yeah.
feet high. But yeah, no, that was epic that he came up for that summer.
Mm-hmm. You want to know a funny one? Just real quick. We used to play skate in front of our house in Huntington all the time. And like, he couldn't like frontside flip and turn full 180. He would frontside flip and pivot on the front truck. And it was like pissing him off. He was getting super mad about it. And I was like, yo, that's basically a frontside flip switch 5.0. We should just go shoot one of those. And he did it down this like, Saddleback College, like 9 or 10 stair handrail, like in 3 tries because of that.
Damn.
Because of that ailment, he just did it like perfect. It was the sickest thing.
Sick. That was such a random trick for him because he really wasn't a frontside flipper. So I remember that clip being like, holy fuck.
Yeah, because he just catches on the ground and turns.
Damn, that was Rai.
Yep.
Okay, take us back to the beginning, or sorry, just to the inception of SBC. I think that was, the main mag in Canada for a long time. So take us behind the scenes on kind of starting that.
Initially, it was supposed to be like a zine, like black and white, just for Toronto. And the Snowboard Canada ad sales people reached out to the distributors, and I got to give a lot of love to DC Shoes and Colin McKay and Moses at Conan. Those guys got the call and they were like, we'll give you all of our ad budget because we really have only Concrete to put it in, and they're our competitor. Or sorry, Concrete Powder, Ultimate. And so Colin and those guys really stepped up and like they threw a ton of money at us, and it went from like, oh, let's do a zine to like we said, like a Trans World thick national magazine in like a month or two. It was
crazy,
super crazy. Wow. So like I got a crash course in doing graphic design and like being a photo editor and managing people and having to figure all this stuff out. And like I said, it like completely destroyed my life. Like I was in an office over at the bottom of the DVP, like where it meets the Gardner, like all the time, like kind of sucked. So the magazine was super awesome. I was also like in my band at the time, and like we were touring like nationally and like doing a lot too. It was kind of going really well. So the two things were like kind of killing me. Like I had my band and I had my magazine, and like I was so disconnected from everything else that like right at the beginning of 2001, I was like had like a life decision to make, and I had to get the fuck out. So I just I had like a relationship fall apart, like my whole life kind of crumbled. So I was like, all right, now's the time, let's go. And Mark got me the job at Circa. And so I just moved to Huntington Beach and started working down there as a freelance photographer and then a senior photographer and designer for Circa at the peak when Circa was like Muska, Colt Cannon, like peak, like spending dumb money on catalogs and hotels and world tours. And like right when Video Radio came out, that's when I started.
Dude, I watched that video recently.
Sick.
It's insane. It is like rock star shit.
Like I was with Muska in a shoe store in Munich, Germany, and he started looking like squirrely, like something was wrong. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, there's like 6 people out front and it's only going to get worse. And he was like, we have to leave like right now. And like, so like we started to leave, and then like a crowd just starts following us, and we had to like book it back to the hotel. And it was just like, because that was right after Video Radio. And in that video, there's like a crazy mob that like tries to get him.
Yeah.
Seeing that level of skateboarding I don't think we're ever going to see it like that again. you know?
I don't know. I don't think
never
so.
going to happen.
They had like a super team at the time too.
Yeah, there was a lot of money being thrown around, and it was pretty wild to work there during that time.
What was your most lavish Circa moment when the budget was untouchable, man?
Okay, Singapore. Paris Hilton got us the penthouse suites of the Singapore Hilton because of Chad, and
Wow.
And I don't know if you know about Singapore, but it's like a really strict place, but also kind of do what you want on the dark side of things. So like there was a mall across the street from our hotel that is basically a club for every curved thing you could think of. Like it's basically like a mall. You go up an escalator and this is the like room for that, and this is the club for that. And like, I'm not going to get into what all those things are, but
imagination.
There was a lot of old white British men there. Let's just put it that way.
Oh shit.
And then we went back to the hotel, and like, it was very lavish, like penthouse living in Singapore in this hotel, thanks to the Hiltons and Chad.
That's crazy,
Wow.
man.
That's once in a lifetime right there.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, that trip, I think, might be one of the reasons why Chad's sober now, because he was out of hand. He tried to start a fight on the international flight to Frankfurt, Germany, and literally told the flight attendant, "Let's step outside."
Oh my god.
He was wearing a cream tracksuit, like sweatsuit, and he was so hammered that he spilt a bottle of wine on himself. So he's wearing a cream tracksuit with just wine poured down the front.
And just looking
the
great.
The captain literally came over the PA and was like, "We might have to land in London instead of Frankfurt because there's a disturbance up here." I wasn't in first class with him; he was up there, but I knew who it was. I knew what was happening.
I can just imagine. I mean, like at that point, he's like as big as Paris Hilton, man. Like he was a superstar,
they were
right?
On the scene, they were like on TMZ together and shit, like all the time. Yeah.
That's fucking unreal.
And
man.
What's his name? Baywatch guy was sitting next to him. What's his name?
Baywatch guy.
Yeah, the main guy from Baywatch. Yeah, Hasselhoff was on the flight. Because we were sitting in the airport lounge on the way to Germany. I had never been to Germany at this point, and I was like, "Yo, Germany, that's where they love Hasselhoff." And as I said that, this dude in a leather trench coat walks in front of us, and I'm like, "Oh my god, he's literally on our flight." And then he sits beside Chad, and poor guy had to deal with Chad for that one.
But that first Muska shoe was fucking enormous, man. Like,
yeah, it was huge. Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, for both.
I counted one day when I was in the office. It had I think it had 18 Circa logos on the shoe.
That's fucking sick. Someone needs to try that again, man.
Yeah, right. Try to pull that off now.
Yeah, you make the move to Cali, and now you're literally living the dream, shooting the best skaters, getting covers, traveling the world. Tell us about those first years in Cali and what it was like doing your thing down there.
Like, definitely a different lifestyle, and like, I have to give like props to Appleyard and Sutrin and Chris Ortiz from 411. Like, people were like really cool in like, and Jeff Rowley and Arto, and people just like accepted me into the mix pretty quick. And like, you know, Cali, like, shouldn't say Cali. That's not me. California. I'm drifting off Dono's Cali. There's so many photographers here. So like, I was really shocked that I wasn't having to like fight my way in, you know. I wrote like Sutrin was like showing me spots and stuff. Like, I did not expect that, because even in Toronto back in the day, it was like everyone's beefing and like trying to get theirs because it's like a small pond, you know. But I thought that's what was going to happen in California, and it wasn't like that at all. Everyone was super cool, brought me into the mix, and like treated me super good, and it was like really, really heartwarming. And then on the other side, like, I would get so jealous when Mark would be like, "Oh, I'm going on a flip filming trip for like 2 months. See ya." And I'm like, it's me and Jesse Landon trying to get photos.
Oh, shots fired, bro.
I got
come on, Jesse's sick.
Yeah.
But
That's your homie, so it's a safe shot, you know?
and I lived on the Warner Ave, where the Warner mob and all that stuff was. So like, it was just after that, but like, it was still a lot of like raging going on, and just, I'd wake up to random people on my couch, like Tosh Townend on my couch one morning, or Jeff Rowley pissing in my backyard for some reason. And like all this, it was super strange culture shock coming from Toronto, where there was like 10 people trying to get after it, you know, to like the hub of everything. And like, trying to figure out the game and who do you talk to and who makes it all happen. And it was going from like, I'm run the magazine, I pick the photos that get in and all that stuff, to just hustling, trying to get my photos in the mags. And everyone was really cool. And it just took some time, and kind of like, I got in at Circa, and then I had to kind of fight my way to be the staff photographer there. And Skin Phillips passed the torch to me there, and that was really cool. So it was like roller coaster, you know?
Cali's going well. You get, welcomed with open arms. That's dope. But then 2004, you come into our lives, brought your ass back to Toronto for phase 2. What was behind that decision? We were happy to have you, but what was going on to make you want to move back?
Super crazy series of events. I'm living with Colt Cannon now at this point, and we live in this really nice apartment in Laguna Hills. It's like kind of Andrew Allan is from around there and stuff. Like, it's a weird little place where like skateboarders don't really live. But so I'm living with Colt. It's like my 30th birthday, and I get the call from Circa like, hey, don't come in. You're not working for us anymore. And like, it was weird. It was like a weird call. And then a kid there that I was really tight with, who was like the assistant team manager, he called me and he's like, yo, man, I just got like a notice to call the cops if you come on the property.
What
and
the hell?
I'm like, what is happening? For like clarity, the 2 dudes that were running the show over there were both cokeheads, and like the money was falling apart. Checks were bouncing. Jamie was out. People were out. So things started getting real dicey, and those dudes blamed me for Appleyard leaving. Like they put it on me that Appleyard went to Globe because I was in his ear with like negativity, which is absolutely not true. Why would I want Mark to go where I'm not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to work with my homie. Like, it didn't make any sense. So, but they basically like, I don't know if it was the paranoia or what, but they like, so they had all my I've lost all my photos from that era that were filmed because I couldn't get back on the property. Lee DuPont tried to get him back for me, but he couldn't find him. It was a whole thing. So that happened. My kind of on again, off again girlfriend of a really long time was like, it's over. And then the very same day that all this happens, I'm like, fuck it, my car's a piece of shit. I'm going to go through the car wash in front of my house, which I've never gone through a drive-through car wash. It's like a California thing to me, like hands-free car wash, So I'm going through this thing, and all of a sudden the arm goes through my front windshield and explodes, and like glass like sticks in my face. I'm all bloodied, and like it's like really close to like jabbing me in the face, and like I'm and the car's still moving forward because you're on that track.
Yeah.
And so like I managed to like duck around it, and it like tin can opener my roof, and I got out and I'm like yelling at everybody else because it's California. Everyone's in line to get a car wash on any given sunny day. And so I run inside and I start screaming at the lady working. She started crying because I'm bleeding like profusely.
Insane.
And I just went, dude, insane. I just left my car in that parking lot because my house was literally across the street. I went home and I just started packing, and I'm like, I'm leaving this fucking place.
Wow.
So, because I got let go of Circa, my work visa would be up. So I had to get out anyways. I think you have like 3 weeks or something to dip. So I called my dad, and he flew down, and we just got in the car and like drove all my shit back. And I forget how it all worked out, but Annie Lamb, this girl that like hung out at the Drift and hung out with Lindsay, was like, hey, I think I could get you an apartment with Lindsay at this skate shop. And I wanted to like I was saying in the first talking about SBC, like I didn't live in the scene at all. And I was like, I want to come back to Toronto, and I want to be like where everything is going on. And I want to like be in the mix and, be at a skate shop, be at an art gallery, be partying. Like I had done this whole like idyllic life thing I was trying to do, and it all fell apart on my 30th birthday. So I went back to Toronto and like in this planned shit pile era, I guess.
Oh, you were in the scene.
It definitely just started to like kind of fall under that perfect timing of that, like, as they call it now, the indie sleaze era. And like, it all just kind of fell into place that I'm going to live in this skate shop where the rent is like, I think I paid like $400 a month for that place. And like,
sick.
It was insane. And it was just such a cool thing to have, like, for people that don't know, like a drift skate shop at the time had like a 3-stair stoop in the front, and these guys would be there all day, and I would just sit out front all day. And like, I made enough money from SBC photos or just sending things to Thrasher or whatever, Mark would come around, that I didn't really have to work. So I would just post up at a drift and like had not a care in the world, and just would see where the day would take you. And that era of Toronto was so fun. And so that's how I like ended up meeting all y'all. But Safer, you were like, what, 17, 16 at the time?
I think I was 16 or maybe 15 when you first moved there, but 16 because I still remember this. You know, when you're younger and like age, you think like your age is so important to like potential sponsors and shit like that. I remember because Ryan shot my first photo that was ever published, Switch Farrell Heel down the Dufferin Big Four. And I was 16 when I did it. And I was 17 when it came out. And you showed me like a draft of it or whatever, like the portrait and stuff. And it said age 17. And I was like, Ryan, can you like make it 16? Like, cause I was 16 when I did it. And you're like, nah. And I was so mad. I was like, fuck, come on, dog. I need that year.
Isn't it funny how that stuff works? Like how big a deal that is to you at that time?
Yeah, huge. But it doesn't really mean a damn thing, 16 or 17.
No, a recognized in SBC. Oh, you know you're 17.
But yeah, you did a lot for the Toronto skate scene. It's crazy today trying to think back. It felt like such a long time, but it was actually a pretty short period of time, but it was just epic. But the people around our age weren't really getting too much SBC love at the time. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of us are getting 5-pagers, recognizes, all that stuff. Give us a couple of highlights from Toronto round 2 for you.
I mean, the funniest one was coming back and you guys all dressed like you were from fucking Baltimore.
Bro, it was fucking hard out here. All right. Shit was hard while you were gone.
Oh shit.
I didn't know what was happening. Like, I mean, I knew Grant and that little weird bubble in Long Beach that would dress like y'all, but I was like, what is happening? So obviously you guys caught a little bit of heat from me for the tall T era, but I don't know. I've always believed that, like, you know, if you look at what Baker does, right? Like Andrew's really good at like seeing someone that's good, but knowing you can do so much more with them if you treat them right and like market them. And so when I came back to the city, I was like, all you guys are fucking cool, good looking kids, cool kids, smart, good skaters. Like it's all there. And it's just on the magazines that just, they don't know. They don't have anyone actually on the ground. Just like when I was there in the office, you lose touch so quick. And so when I came back, I was like, I'm going to make sure these kids get shown, because you guys were also like the shop that was like doing it. You know what I mean? Like downtown, making it happen. Like BTL was awesome, but they were like further north. And I just felt like there was so much culture right here that's always been my thing, is like, don't come in and try to like make a new scene. Just highlight what's there, you know? Maybe I can tighten up the shirts a little bit, but
it didn't work, man. Maybe for some.
No,
I don't know. Not for many.
Ryan was inspiring us left and right. He was a beacon of health. I don't know how you survived eating nothing but pigeon pizza for that whole stretch, but you weren't eating meat, you know, keeping it healthy over at Memos.
Pizza Memo, dude, that kept me alive. $2 slices.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, the place was amazing. I mean, yes, there was literally pigeons inside, but
that happens, man. That happens in the city.
Yeah. Between that and Sam's convenience store, like those two places were like a lifeline.
Bro, breakfast, lunch, and dinner way too many times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time was like magical, right? And like I even think about, like, I'm really tight with Sean over at Rose Street Skate Shop down here in Encinitas, and like I went to a premiere for a video there the other day, actually a couple months ago, but I was blown away. It was like parents and their kids and like a very wholesome scene. And I was like, whoa, it's not like it used to be.
There's no booty shaking contest in the back of a
literally booty contest and like cops breaking down the doors and like people running out the back and hopping fences and hiding beers.
Some mosh pit
like,
shit.
Hanging from the ceiling. Like, I don't know, just different time. And that era was so fun. And I was so glad that you guys, like, I was allowed to be there. You know what I mean? Like, I really felt like a like outsider that just got to plop himself in the middle of it all and like witness it, you know? It was cool.
Bro, I remember the first time meeting you, Lindsay just like introduced you. Because you were saying you just let the day take you where you went. I was finishing high school, so I basically lived there too. And then Aiden moved in, and then I literally practically lived there.
Yeah, you guys were watching Lost all the time in the other room.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to fucking bring you into the crew, because it's like, oh, this new dude lives here that we don't know, but oh shit, he's got stories about every one of your favorite pro skaters and he shot them all and he's down to shoot. It was like, oh shit, new homie in the building. Let's go.
I did not like when you figured out the door code though. That was not sick.
oh, legendary quote real quick. Lindsay, who owned the shop, Ryan, and our friend Aiden all lived upstairs. And I was the unofficial 4th roommate because I was in grade 12 and Aiden had just finished school. So I'd come over like most days after school and stay there on the weekend. So I had to get the door code to come in and out. But one time Ryan was pissed because too many people got the door code. So it was like actually like he's trying to like chill or something. And there's just people coming and going all the time. And one time he was in a bad mood and I just opened the door and he was right there on the other side of it. And he was so pissed because they had just changed the code to something new to stop people. And I got it because Aiden's like, yeah, you can get it. I opened the door. Ryan's right there. And he's like, this is my fucking door. And he slammed the door in my face. Oh, shit.
Oh, dude,
one more. Another time.
This is my fucking door.
Another time, Ryan, because you moved down for like the winter and came back, I think, but you had gotten me into Halo.
I would abandon the house in the winter and go to San Diego.
Yeah. You got me into Halo that first time, and then I came back to Toronto and I got everyone on Halo, like Ben, Aiden, blah, blah, blah. So we'd always be playing in Aiden's room. And then me and Aiden wanted to watch Lost one time, and Ryan was like losing to someone in Halo. So he was again he was irritable. And I was like, hey, Ryan, like, and I don't live there, but I'm like asking him to like get out of the room. But I'm like, hey, Ryan, like, we're actually going to watch Lost. And he's like, you need to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of my house. Oh my God, I'll never forget that because Aiden didn't want to say anything because he's like, oh shit, Ryan's fucking cheesed right now. I'm like, I'll do it.
I mean, at some point, being a grown ass man in a skate house starts to wear you out. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. And it's crazy because it was crazy when you were there, but then when you moved out and Warren moved in, it was like,
oh God,
somehow went ×3. I had to stop going around. I was like, damn, I miss Ryan yelling at me.
But that was a really like important era, and it's sort of like in my head really sets the tone of like the importance of skate shops and like community and all that stuff. Like I feel like kids, I sound like the old man, but kids that maybe don't have that as much now. And like, I don't know, maybe in the city they do. And I think about like that a lot. Like that was so sick that like, you know, Lindsay was a lot, but she like created a scene and like a place for so many people. And I think that was like huge for someone. Was she like 24 at the time?
I know, that's the crazy part. She seemed so much older because I was 16 or something, but yeah.
Yeah. Like she's 24 shouldering like an entire city's scene, you know? And then she's got like,
honestly,
I no longer want to beef with Jimbo and those guys, but like having those guys coming at her too at 24 while she's like doing all this was crazy to me. That's why I like took up the fight on that, you know? And like, it was a wild thing to think like this 24-year-old girl is like carrying the whole city and like bringing tours through. Like Rob and Big were in the back of a drift, like kicking it. Like all these, it was crazy. Like all this stuff that happened there because this like kid decided to do that. It was really, really awesome and really set like how I think everything should be done now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, hats off to Lindsay and everyone involved. Great times.
Killed it. I think that's why she took a lot of ownership over the 20-year anniversary party too, and was like, we're going to make sure this fucking happens, and we're going to make sure everyone's here, and we're doing the tall tees.
Exactly. And props to Jake for like carrying the torch and continuing it on and making it a viable business. Like Lindsay's was a cultural hub that would not survive, and Jake made it. It just wouldn't. It just you can't have just anti-hero attacks forever.
It took like the rough first couple of years, and then Jacob sailed it off into a good business model.
Couldn't hand it to a better person. You know, he's sick. I'd give him shit for his Lululemon pants back in the day, but you know, let's
not forget. Maybe you guys are doing it on purpose, but let's not forget Mike Frost in the middle there, bridging the two.
Yeah, see,
he had the baton for a bit.
Yeah, I was checked out right at that point, so I went on to have a real life after that.
All right, before we move off of a drift in that time frame, we talked about, you know, all the good times, but there was one thing that I need to bring up, a rumor, maybe not a rumor, maybe truth. We're going to get the real story from you. But Seva talked about 5-pagers, You know, a lot of people in our crew was getting 5-pagers at the time, Warren, Safa, the list goes on. One person that was supposed to get one that never did, our main man, Cody Brown, you know, he did his thing in his tall tee. He did his thing on the board. No one can deny that. But rumor goes the interview was done, shot it with Harry, and then you came through and hit the kibosh on the good homie, man. I mean, you know how stories kind of change over time and maybe get worse and worse? We need to set the record straight. What happened with the Cody Brown 5-pager, man?
I know that I definitely was an asshole to Cody. I 100% know that I was. Now, I don't fully remember and did you use kibosh on purpose? Because wasn't that like the Circa video?
Circa video. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that might be a subtle little thing there. Now, I don't recall kiboshing codes, but it could very well have happened in the critical dickhead state that I was in at that point. It could, and I was not cool to Cody. So
it's one tall T too many.
Yeah, so sorry, Cody. Absolutely could have been me being a dick. Could have also been that I had like a really bad falling out with SBC. So it maybe happened in that era. Like, I don't really remember, but that also, like, I was carrying the load for them for a while because they lost an editor and I had to like fill in for them in the meantime. And I thought I was doing a pretty good job. And then someone, I forget who, came in and they just fired me on the spot and like took over. And I was a little salty about that. So it could have been, timing wise, could have been during that when like things went south. I really don't know. But shit, man, I feel bad about that one.
Yeah.
I wish we could group hug right now.
You know? Yeah. And I wish Cody was here too, because I know it hurt him. You know,
for sure.
It meant a lot to him at the time, and probably to have 100%. To look back now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like
he hates
when you're
you,
in that.
Probably.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I know he does.
I don't blame him. Like, you know when you can feel the vibe when someone comes in a room. Every time Cody came in the room, I felt the vibe for sure, 100%.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy because the way he tells it is that it was promised that he would have one in the same issue as Spencer. So then when the rumor went that he didn't get it because of his tall tees, he's like, but literally Spencer's in the same.
Were even bigger.
You know, he's in the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. Just had to ask him.
And Wade never caught any flack from me for that. I don't know. He just always looked okay in those. Like, he could pull it. So yeah, very, very unfair. Maybe it was just that, like, I don't know, just too many, and I just maxed out and couldn't do it anymore.
That's what I thought. One tall T too many, man. Do you remember that time when you had a runny nose and when looking for nose spray, you found ketamine instead, which made you high and happy, and you accidentally killed a horse thinking it was a moose because you were hungry? The day after, you were found passed out next to the dead horse by the police. On the way to the police station, you found some more ketamine in your pocket, told the policeman that you had asthma and that it was asthma medicine. He allowed you to take some, which made you happy. He then said he also had asthma and asked if he could take some as well. Afterwards, he accidentally released you because now he was high as a kite. Who made sure the police had asthma? You know who did. CHPO brand, the worldwide leader in sunglasses and watches, always doing it for the people.
Sadly, you moved back to California in 2006, I believe.
Sadly, from what perspective?
Yeah. From ours, I mean, but it was. I did appreciate. Yeah. I always loved how you kept the Toronto love even when you moved back. Like, my first California trip was to visit you and stay at yours in Colt's place, and we shot my interview down there. And then Warren did the same thing. He came down, shot a 5-pager with you, and then any opportunity you had, you would come back to Toronto with like some of the best skaters in the world. I think you brought Gravis maybe twice. You came through with Analog, like. So you kept coming back, which was always dope. Well, you should come back more now.
dude,
But
no one pays to do it anymore.
yeah. But yeah, let's go back to you getting back down to Cali and becoming the Gravis TM and all that. Like, what's the story, the continuation from leaving Toronto?
Remember when there was those Flip Feast tours? They were like, they did like a Far East one, and then they did a Canada one. I went on the Canada one because Mark was living at Adrift with us, and Mark and I were like, I don't want to jump in the van with everybody. So Mark's like, I'll drive it, and you can. And Jeff Rowley jumped in with us and was like, hey, can I come with you guys so that I'm not in the van the whole time? And we would just kind of like do our own thing, meet up with the tour, jump back into the car, dip out, go do other stuff. And like me and Jeff kind of like, I knew Jeff the whole time, but we like really kind of clicked during that time. At the end of that Feast tour, Jeff was like, hey, I've got this place out in Arizona that I've got like a ramp set up, and we're doing a Thrasher article on it, and Burnett can't be there for like the week that we're going to go back after this. So would you want to come down to Arizona and work on this article on my place? And I was like, hell yeah, that sounds sick. Mark's going, Arto's going. But Jeff had this crazy compound by the Grand Canyon where he had like a giant mini ramp with like a spine and like quarter pipes coming out of the garage and like this whole playground, handrails on the side of the house. And it was like David, Arto, buddy Jimmy Boyce, everybody just rolling through, and Apples. And we were just French Fred. And we just like got up to no good in the desert, like just a bunch of dudes drinking and skating, and like literally for like a week, like isolated. And it was a super fun. I literally think that like that trip kind of defined my photography style, because I watched Fred working, and like I was like, I need to like care about this more. Like this dude cares so much. Like he's like trying so hard to make this cool. And I was just like kind of a like pile, just and like watching Fred do his thing like really made me like give a shit. From there, Jeff's like, oh, I got a couple photos. I got to get back in Huntington. You want to come stay at my place for a bit? And so I went back to Huntington with Jeff, and oh my God, I hated being in Huntington. Like it was so weird, like realizing like how much I hated that place once I like got back there with Jeff. And so I was sleeping on Jeff's couch for like a week, and like one day there's like a knock on the door, and I don't answer people's doors like at other people's houses, right? You just kind of let that be. I can't answer the questions that might be asked and all this stuff. So, but whoever's knocking on the door is like hella persistent and just like keeps knocking, and Jeff's asleep. And so I answer the door finally, and it's this it's this woman, and she's like, oh, is Jeff here? And I thought it was Jeff's girlfriend. So I was like, Jeff's upstairs sleeping, go ahead. And I just went back and sat on the couch, and she came back down, and she's like, oh, Jeff and his girlfriend are up there. Like, I'm just going to kick it here till they wake up. And that woman has been my wife for like almost 20 years now.
I had no idea where that was going. I was so confused. Yeah.
So literally like that moment, we like just started kicking it. She worked for Vans. That's why she was popping by and to see Jeff. And like, we just started kicking it. And literally my entire life like went a very different way, very, very fast. And so
crazy.
I almost actually like didn't seal the deal, because she came back to Toronto with me to like check out where I lived, and she saw it and like literally was like, oh fuck, I think I fucked up. Like she was like, I'm out, dude. Like,
oh, like, did you take her to Grimsby or like, the upstairs of Adrift?
No,
which one did you choose?
Upstairs of Adrift. And like, yeah, it was just a mess. It was a party and it was just sloppy. But luckily I like was like, well, I'll move out. I'll come to California. I'll figure this out. And so, yeah, luckily it worked out.
Crazy. That's a crazy story.
So with that, like, I sort of became like, I need to get my shit together. Party time's over. And I was pretty burnt out on that lifestyle anyways. Like a couple of years at Adrift can really accelerate not wanting to do that anymore. So I came down here and really like tried really hard I moved in with her, and she had 3 daughters. So moved in and like just became like de facto dad, and like just got to work on taking it way more serious. And at the same time, Jeff started bringing me on all things flip, and really got like close with Arto. He's like my like little big brother. Like he's a giant next to me, but he's like my little brother. And like we really clicked, and I spent a lot of time with him, and he just started like bringing me everywhere he went. And in doing so, like introduced me to a lot of stuff. And one day he took me to Gravis. He's like, I'm going to skate for this shoe called Gravis. And I'm like, dude, I know what that is. That's like that Burton thing. Like they used to do Burton product knowledge meetings at my office at SBC because of the snowboard side. And I would see all these kooky, like patent leather, like après snowboard shoes, they called them. Like for after you're done snowboarding, put these on. And like, I was like, don't do that, Arto. Like, what are you doing? This looks like garbage. But he showed me his shoes and they were really cool. The Viking. And that's what the time when he also went to Alien Workshop. So I shot all his stuff, like to introduce him to Alien Workshop. And he just like immediately like went to Mark Oblo, who was like running Gravis, and was like, Ryan's going to take care of things. Like he's going to be the photo guy and he's going to do this. And like,
Sick.
That's how Gravis worked. Like those dudes made the call. Like no one outside of the crew made any calls there really. Like maybe that's why it went out of business. I don't know, but it allowed us to do like a lot of cool shit. So like Arto brought me in the fold and immediately it was just on. That's where I met Dylan. And literally like the first couple of times I went on trips with Dylan, I was like, why do people vibe with this dude? Like he was like a zombie. He didn't talk. He just like had long hair and like wore weird things. And like one of the ways we connected was before a Hawaii trip, I like rolled my ankle. So I brought slippers with me on the trip so that I wouldn't be tempted to skate around, and ended up still rolling around the main park in Oahu. And Dylan saw my slippers and I didn't know why he was like grilling me about these slippers because they coincidentally happened to look a lot like his shoe. And he was like, yo, you skate with those all the time? I'm like, no, I'm just trying to stop myself from skating by wearing like slippers. And I didn't understand why he was grilling me about. And then when I saw his shoe, I was like, oh, fuck. He was like, thought maybe I was onto the same thing as him or some shit.
Dropped the pro model.
Yeah. He's like, get this guy out of here. He's trying to steal my shit. But yeah, I didn't understand what I didn't know what Dylan was capable of. I hadn't really I somehow missed his like Transworld part and stuff. And the way it really ended up gelling was Arto had bought a house in Hollywood. It's the one that ended up having the pool in the backyard and stuff. And Arto's like, I just bought a house in Hollywood. Like, can you guys help me move some stuff in? So we went there, loaded up his bed and all this stuff into this crazy old Hollywood house. And he had like a grapefruit tree in the backyard. And he's like, I'm going to have like a housewarming party tonight. I didn't really know his lady, but she's like really well Hollywood connected. So he's like, I'm having this like Hollywood party. And like, so all these like beautiful people are coming through. And I was like enamored with this grapefruit tree. So I'm like peeling grapefruits and making vodka grapefruits for everybody. And I'm like, one for you, two for me, like one for you, two for me. And like a couple hours into it, like everything just starts swoosh spinning and stuff. Like, you know, when you're like seated doing something and you're drinking, you don't really clock how hammered you're getting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I stood up for a second and the whole world was just like, and I'm like, Arto, like I got to go like lay down somewhere. And he's like, man, the whole upstairs is like under construction, but there's like a day bed in the hall. So I went up there and I like lay down and I don't know, like an hour or two pass and I like wake up just like, oh fuck, it's coming out right now. And I know the whole upstairs is under construction, so there's no bathroom or anything. So I just bolt open the window and just heave one out the window. And as it's coming out of my mouth, I look down below and Dylan's down there smoking a cig, talking to some beautiful girl. No. Oh. And it just straight up like Nickelodeoned him, like just
no.
And like, yeah, just like full. Oh. And I just like leaned back into the window like, oh, I just, it's over. I fucked up. Like it's over. And I don't really know Dylan that well at this point. And I hear Dylan come into the house and he's like, Arto, your fucking photographer just puked on me. And he comes running up the stairs and I just like stop him at the top of the stairs. And I'm like, I put my hands behind my back and I'm like, just take the shot, dude. It's yours. You earned it. Like, just go. And he just like stared at me with like the vein like popping in his forehead and then just like disappeared. And I like laid back down and went to bed. And like next morning I got up and went to like breakfast and got a coffee. And I came back to the house and Dylan was sitting on the front porch when I came back and he just looks at me and we just start laughing, like dying laughing. Like
thank God.
Couldn't stop laughing. And like I was trembling because I was like, I just killed my chances with this brand. Like I'm not gonna. And he just started laughing, shaking his head, and I was like, oh shit, it's cool, like we're good. And then he just like went off and next day we skated and it was like nothing ever happened. And I was like, I was in with the crew after that. It was insane.
Somehow insane.
And that was like peak beautiful Dylan, like hair, like whew. Yeah.
I love how you're like, yeah, okay, I got to take life serious now and like get a proper job. And
Oh, you
that's the next
still
thing
fall
you
off
do.
the rails, dude. It still happens. And so like from there, I just started traveling with those guys and going everywhere. And back to your point, Safa, about bringing people back to Toronto, like they would do trips everywhere. And I was like, hey, we should just make a regular trip to Canada. Like they would let me just bring the dudes up every summer. And it became like a regular thing. It was the best. Like I love Toronto. I think it's the best city in the world. And I think like it's really good for skating if you can get past the cracks and all that stuff. Like it's really good. Mm-hmm. So I try to make it a point to get anybody I can back up there, you know?
I mean, rest in peace, the late great Dylan. Some of his tricks from those trips when you brought him up are still talked about to this day. Mm-hmm. Backtail on the beaches, backtail kickflip Bickford. You would always invite me out to help show the guys around / just hang out and get a free dinner on the budget. I'm so sad he's gone, and I wish we could have interviewed him, but it was really cool to get to meet him a couple times and shit. So thanks again for all those trips.
He loved the city. Like I did a BTL shirt once and he came up just to like hang out for it, you know, like sick. No reason other than just to come because he liked the city. We had a blast. He really loved Kensington because that's like his thing, like sit at a bar and just drink the night away, smoke a cig, you know. Mm-hmm. He vibed with it a lot, you know, and
break a couple
I was
hearts.
Blessed to be able to do that. Yeah, 100%. A lot of those on the road.
Mm-hmm. The last couple of seasons, we've had so many epic stories from the AYC era. You were the first TM over there. You have any prank stories or any kind of AYC stories for us?
Well, let me first clear the air that I got kind of bamboozled into that job. Yeah, I'll be honest. It was all those dudes are sick, but the brand was whack. You know,
that was
like,
insane.
So the way like Stevie pitched it to me is, so first of all, Nordberg was the one that made the first call because he had gone from Gravis and he was like, yo, these dudes are like going to do this clothing brand and they want to bring you in to talk about it because they liked what you did at Gravis and that kind of vibe and stuff. And so I went and had a meeting with Stevie and this dude, Jesse Fritsch, old vert skater that skated for New York and stuff. And in the meeting, Stevie like sold me on it as like sort of what we were trying to do with Gravis and sort of like, I don't know, like a higher tier fashion brand that like would make clothes that if you put it on Figgy, it would make sense, but Stevie could style it his way and it would make sense. And it wasn't overtly branded. And it was like, just like, I mean, for anybody that understands what All Saints is, it was kind of pitched as like this All Saints kind of skate brand where it's like high fashion stuff, but it's not like blah logos and like, it's like mesh hoodies and stuff. And like Riley could pull it off with his tattoos underneath and Stevie could pull it off. And I was like, that sounds sick. What's it called? And they're like Asphalt Yacht Club. And I was like, can you change that? And they're like, oh, the trademarks and everything are, and I was like, well, can you short form it? Like AYC, Asphalt, like, and they were pretty staunch at the beginning that it had to be Asphalt Yacht Club. And like, at the same time, one of my daughters was like starting college and I'm like, I need like a regular income to make sure she's good for like college years, you know? So I was like doing the math and I'm like, well, this will work for that. So I took the job and like, it went off the rails like instantly, like from, hey, we're going to make cool stuff to we're in Zoomies and they told us that they want all over print this and that and the other thing. And it just like went south so fast. Like the team even was like literally, and props to Figgy for this. I would shoot Figgy. He would put the shirt on, take the photo. He would take the shirt off. Like he was not trying to be seen in that shit. And I don't blame him. You know what I mean? And like, it really sucked because they paid really well. It was owned by this like, venture capital group out of New York that like Leonardo DiCaprio is like a part of. Like he probably had no idea he was invested in it, but it was like this big money company. Yeah. They tried to buy DGK and those guys were like, nah. So they thought they were going to get Stevie and make DGK clothing, basically is what they thought they were going to do. Hence the AYC, the DGK, all this stuff that like, and, you know, I think Stevie had the best intention, but when you bring in money people that bring their people in, like they were also Truck Fit, same company. And so they would bring Truck Fit designers in. And I don't know if you've seen Truck Fit, but goddamn, those are horrible clothes. I just eventually like I went on some insane trips with them. We did like, I think we did the very first and maybe the only trip where we did a Thrasher skate park tour. Remember they used to do those? Like they'd go to a city and they'd do like 5 or 6 skate parks around that city. We did it, but we did it all Uber Black. So like every guy would get an Uber Black and like rock up to LES.
So unnecessary.
Oh, it was hilarious, dude. And like it's so fit their whole thing. Like, I mean, the very first trip we did was to Miami, and they rented a house like a block away from Shakira's house. And it was like this, literally like a yacht was parked in the yard, like in the water, like the backyard was water with a pool, a yacht, this whole thing. And Nigel's there and like the whole crew. And like, it was hilarious, like absolutely hilarious. At every minute I'm laughing. Like I remember going to Figgy like, hey, like these dudes, they own that club One Oak. Like we could just go there anytime we want. And Figgy's like, what the fuck am I going to do at One Oak? I was just like, oh yeah, sorry.
Good point.
Yeah, valid. So like everyone was in it for the hijinks, but the hijinks could not outweigh like just how bad the gear was. And even I could, Stevie was like frustrated because it was like so much potential and it was not landing on the design side of things and like just getting pulled in all the bad directions. And like I remember thinking like this is going to be sick for Nyjah because Stevie and Nyjah can vibe. And then like I think that would be such a cool, like those two hanging out all the time. I really thought that would be like super cool, but it never really meshed, and it just didn't happen. And everything that I thought could be good about it, like Stefan, I could tell his heart wasn't in it. No one's heart was in it. So it was like hard to do stuff too. Like, hey guys, we got to go shoot this photo. Like I got this concept. No matter how cool the concept was, as soon as you put the shirt on, it just poof, out the door.
Yeah.
And it was a weird era too. Like if you remember, like I think it was 2014. Like think about like what fashion was. It was like diamond and like the clothes were kind of strange then, you know what I mean? And things were kind of weird. So it was just a weird time. And eventually I like called Jesse up and I was like, hey, listen, dude, I can't do it anymore. And he's like, oh, so where are you going to go work? And I'm like, I literally have nothing else. And he's like, it's that bad? And I'm like, yes, it is that bad.
Oh, shit.
And
wow.
I had to dip. Yeah, it was. I still went on a couple trips. Like I went to Japan with them to cover them for Thrasher. And then randomly the Jerome Case, the Thrasher like marketing guy, is on the trip with us. We land in Japan and he's like, hey, I got to go back. My wife went into labor while we were on the plane. And so he's like, can you take over as team manager for this trip? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm back in this, like so bad. But it was a hilarious trip. That's the one where like Riley got in the fight in Shibuya. Tommy Hilfiger jumped in to break it up. Like this whole crazy scene happens. Like that's just like the Stevie effect. Like when you're with Stevie, like insane stuff happens, and it was that's what I loved about Asphalt Yacht Club was like, I'm hanging out with Lil Wayne and his sister and like the owner of Interscope Records got us a yacht, or like there's all this stuff where you're like kind of can't turn that stuff down, but you're not going to catch me like repping it, and it just started to hurt my soul a little bit. And I mean, after I got out, it went downhill pretty fast after that anyways. And like they got different people on it and it changed fast. So
could have been so sick.
Yeah. Like all those dudes were fun to travel with. Funny story from that one is Nyjah had in his contract that he could always fly at least business class, but usually first class. And in his contract, he could bring a friend on any trip and they would fly whatever class he was flying, they would fly with him. And I remember like, he brought like Deloy or something on a trip one time, and Derek Wilson, like the most fucking stand-up thing I ever seen somebody do, went up to him and was like, Nyjah, like, we're not good enough. Like, we're not your homies. And it was like the sickest like call out. Like, it was so sick. Like Derek, like, blessed to be on the team is like calling out the dude on the team. And it was like the sickest thing.
That's a moment right there.
Damn, that's sick.
Strange thing to have in your contract. Like, I'm gonna not kick it with the boys, and I'm gonna fly up front
with my own homie.
Ryan, you shot a cover, or at the time, you shot a cover for every main mag, kind of in the heyday of print. It's obviously a different landscape now.
Yep.
But can you give us a quick? I know some of you had multiple covers, but a quick skater trick and maybe a quick story about each one, because I think when we met you were missing like one, maybe two, and then you eventually got them all. So tell us your Pokemon story.
So it would what would it have been that I was missing back then? Anyways,
I think
Obviously,
David
FPC, that's
Gonzalez,
easy.
you hadn't had the kick
I
front
hadn't
board
done that
cover
yet.
when
Yeah,
we
that
met,
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So 2 Thrasher covers are David kickflip front board at Muirlands, like right there. And then also,
sick.
have you guys seen David's career arc lately? Oh my god,
Dude, he's
I
on
know,
fire
it was
right
pretty
now.
sad when I saw his Instagram.
Yeah.
I hope he's all good.
I haven't checked in a long time, and I just did the other day, and I was like, woo. Anyways,
Same. I had no idea.
David Thrasher and Dylan Thrasher Backsmith in Berlin. That one was super funny. Like those dudes had already been in Berlin for like a week before I got there, and they were just reviewing clips. And I looked at the footage, and I was like, "Yo, what is that backsmith you did?" And he was like, "Oh, it's just a filler backsmith. Like, no big deal." And I'm like, "Would you be down to like go back and do it again?" And he's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like let's go back." And he was so nonchalant about it. Like in the photo, he's got his sunglasses on because he just thought it was a fuck around. Like he didn't think much of it, you know. And I shot the photo. I sent it to Thrasher in black and white, and Burnett hit me up and he's like, "Can you send this to me in color?" And when he said that, I was like, "Oh, I know what this is." Like when they asked for the photo to come back in color, like that's the cover. So
Damn.
I didn't tell Dylan, but that was like super, super amazing. A feeling to know like, oh shit, he just got the cover with that one.
Yeah.
And then Skateboarder magazine cover with Levi Brown was the first one. Ryan DeWitt, best dude ever, rest in peace, brought me out on a element trip to Arizona to meet Levi and skate out there with Colin Provo. And Levi had this first spot of the trip. And it was like a half an hour. I've told this story a couple of times, but it was a half an hour from our hotel. And I got to the spot and I was going through my camera and I'm like, oh man, my memory card case is at the hotel. Like I don't have any memory cards, can't actually shoot anything. And Levi's like, yeah, I'll drive you back. Like he's the nicest dude in the world. So he's like, I'll drive you back in my car. Like I literally met the dude 5 minutes earlier. So he drives me back, get the memory cards, go back to the spot. And he does like the most Levi Brown kickflip I've ever seen. And Levi Brown kickflips are insane.
Yeah.
And, so that one landed him on the cover and that got him on Element too, which was pretty cool.
Sick.
I actually think he was staying at the house at Adrift when we found out he got the cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, because when he came up, he was pretty unknown. He was just like,
yeah.
I don't want to say random, but it was like he was kind of like your homie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Random Hawk.
Yeah. Random Hawk with the massive tray flips. Sick. Nice to meet you, too.
Yeah. The second skateboarder cover was Arto switchback 180 into that 605 ditch.
Oh,
the one that's like got the little flat kicker and then you like gap into the ditch. Switchback 180 on that. Then what else? Skateboarder mag cover. First cover was Arto doing the back lip that you're probably going to ask what the biggest bunt I ever thought I was going to see. And I thought that was going to be the biggest bunt. Like on the way there, he's like, I'm going to back lip Frost. And I'm like, yeah, you're not. Like he was so high on life that day on the way up there because he had just met his future mother of his children and wife. He was so high on life that I was like, he's fucked up. Like he's not going to do this today because he's high. But he wasn't. He was totally just jamming. He had been like up all night hanging out with this chick. He's all sparked. And we went there and I'm just like, there is no way in hell. Like he's jumping over to front board, like super leany on one side. But then one just, I mean, he's told the story. One just kind of clicked in right. And you're like, oh yeah, no, he can do this. And like Terry Kennedy's there and like a bunch of people from Skateboard Mag are there. And Shad Lambert actually poached it and shot a sequence. And I didn't know, like while I was shooting the photo. And they put it like on the, I think it was on the Skateboard Mag website. And like after the cover had come out, but I remember that Alien Workshop like flipped out about it because it's basically the video, you know, it's a sequence. It's on the website. It's like playing like a video. So they were like, take that shit down and super pissed. But yeah, Arto did that. And like craziest story about that was like, we came home from that Arto getting it and Arto was like, hey, come in the kitchen for a second. And it was the weirdest thing. He goes in his cupboard and there's a preset envelope with my name on it and he hands it to me and there's $500 in there and he's like, I know you want a new camera, like use this to get a new camera. And I'm like, did he put that there in case he did it? And like was holding it in his head like, I'm going to give this dude money if I land it. Like it was the weirdest, like
that's crazy.
I was like, I don't understand what just happened. Like what? So I wouldn't have got it if he didn't land it. It was all riding on him landing it. Like
You're like, this guy's about to bunt. You should have been like, you got that.
But yeah, he put that one down. So what's that?
Hell
Skateboard
yeah.
mag. Oh, then the second Skateboard mag cover was just a random one. Like I used to go on these like 6 a.m. Rolly missions to Palm Springs. Like I would drive out there in the dark and just meet Jeff at sunup at spots, and because it's so hot, you know. And one day we went to this like really now well-known bank to ledge, but he did like a 180 nose grind on it, and it's like 5 feet of vert, and then like a giant ditch to get up to. You got to bomb a hill to get to it. It's classic Jeff shit. And then they did that WTF cover where you like it's just you don't even see what's happening on the front. You fold it out. It says WTF across it. Very strange cover. But that was my other cover. Appleyard Slap magazine cover was my very first US mag cover, and that was the very first photo I ever got in Slap. Was the cover of Backsmith on Park's 12 stair, I think it was. And then I had another Slap cover with Shane Cross doing a backside flip in a ditch down here in Oceanside. It was like a cover where it was like Shane, a skateboard wheel, like it was like a 4-photo cover thing.
Sick.
And then Transworld cover.
Colty.
Yeah, the Colty cover. It's like a 21 stair hubba. But Colt did that 50-50 like after a very harsh slam. Like he did one of those 50s where your front truck goes over, like almost front feeble. And he did not catch anything on the way down, just his shoulder at the bottom. And he still got up and 50'd that thing. And back at that time, that was gnarly. The funniest thing about that whole thing was that was a cover and an interview. And I remember I got the check afterwards, and I think it was like $1,500 or something for the whole thing. And I'm like, that's like a year of my life. Like we worked on this for like a long time.
Damn.
And it's like, you make $1,500. Like I was so devastated. It was like the realization that like you have to be doing a lot to make any money doing this. Like if you're not staff for somebody, you know? And then there's one more that's kind of a cover, kind of not. It's the Transworld took a portrait I shot of Dylan, and Paul Kobriger did his like pencil art and made it his pencil art of Dylan's portrait. So that one's in like the 0.5% of a cover. But yeah, that's the other one. So basically two of every mag.
Right. That's epic, man. And of course a million SBC ones.
Oh yeah. Those are like the Bob Burnquist switch loop, and Jesse Landon broke his ankle redoing one for me.
Oh.
You know the 50 cover he had?
Yeah, that was my first mag ever.
I asked him to do it again because I wasn't sure if I got it, and he broke his ankle. And we were in New York. Like that's in Niagara Falls, New York. So we had to drive back across the border with a broken ankle to get him to the hospital. I have like a kind of a policy now that I don't really suggest people do things again if they already got it now. Like I'm good. Even if I blew it, I'm good.
I need that policy for myself. I hurt too many times redoing stuff just because I want to clean it up, and it's like,
yeah. Right. And then you get broke, and you're like,
never learned the lesson.
And you get broke a lot. So
yeah.
Aside from that Transworld cover that I don't think really counts, the Dylan Backsmith was my last big cover, and that was fucking 10 years ago. And I'm like, that is crazy. It was a decade ago. You know, time is a strange construct, and like I've sort of checked out on the like daily hustle of trying to like get things. You know, for all the kids here in San Diego, 100%. Like I'll go out and try to make shit happen for them. But on the day to day, like there's just so little incentive to be a skate photographer now that it's very demotivating unless they're people you care about, you know? All those, like the kids that I'll like roll out with now, they're all down here in San Diego trying to make San Diego like kind of happen again, because it's kind of fallen off. And there's these kids that are really good, have a really good eye, and like, you know, Jake Cortez, Nico and Indy, Dylan Jabe, Toby Ryan, Jake Braun, Parker, like a good crew down here. Brandog that films everybody. You saw the Rarity video from what I remember, Dono, recently. Sorry, not Rarity. It was
Small
the other
Bounty.
one.
Don't fucking bring it
Small
up.
Bounty.
Get fucking killed over here for that one.
I was laughing when I watched that because I was like, that's literally the premiere I was talking about, where it was super wholesome. That was like, it was all the kids and their families and stuff at the premiere, and then I saw you talking about it. Why'd you get chirped? Like what was the?
I don't know. That's what Mason does, man. And then it turns
Oh,
into the
Mason.
trailer of the vid, and then
No, it was just Donald asking us if we'd seen it, as if he was like on some hip shit that we wouldn't know about, and we were all like, "Yeah, we've all watched it." And then Mason was like, goes on free skate once and like thinks he's got the secret gem. That was more the chirp. And like
Okay.
we all love the video. We've
That's
all
fair.
seen it.
That's
It's-
fair.
yeah, it's the best.
Anyways.
I thought Mason was going to be clowning it, and I was going to have words, but all right.
No. We'd all watched it and liked it. It was just funny
All
how
right,
Donald was like, "You guys see Small Bounty?" Like he had some secret shit. But
Oh,
it was just
why is
us
that so
taking-
crazy?
It was just funny. I don't know.
Those mentions go a long way, so shout out
Yeah.
Dono for giving it a little,
See,
shining a little light.
Oh, hell yeah.
I enjoyed
Hell
that
yeah.
one.
It was
Yeah.
great.
But yeah, those kids are doing it like if you watch that video, like it doesn't feel like a San Diego thing, you know what I mean? And like it's a tough thing to do down here. It's palm trees and stucco, and it's really hard to make it not like look picturesque. And I think we all know that skateboard videos don't really like land when they're super picturesque and beautiful blue skies and beaches, and it kind of falls off, falls short. And so it's cool that those kids have the amount of spots that Nico and Indy have shown me that I've never seen, and I've lived here almost 20 years. It's crazy, like what going out and getting after it can shine a light on.
So you launched Fact Brand a while back with Damon Way, but more recently you've added footwear to the mix. So give us the rundown on what you guys got going on these days.
All right, so we started Fact in like 2016, and we did it as we started it as a footwear brand, but when Damon and I were looking at all the shoes, and Damon Way, for anybody that doesn't know, started DC Shoes, Drawers Clothing, 8 Ball Clothing. He was the creative director of Incase. Like he's done a lot of big shit. And we saw the shoes and we were like, these aren't bringing anything to the table. They look like Huffs. They look like Converse. Like we all kind of agreed, like, this isn't the time. Let's shift focus. And so we Damon and I are just like both like love making stuff. Streetwear, clothing, culture, fashion culture has always been something that we're like both deeply, deeply involved in. And so we just started making clothes, and we got hooked up with a good team in Japan that ran Stussy Japan. They own Huff. They own Union, the clothing store in LA and in Tokyo. And they got us off the ground and got us going. And we put together like a really cool skate team and making moves, doing stuff. We had Joe Campos, 7 Strong, Cam Sedlick, Tyler Golden. We had like a pretty rad team, Dalton Newberry, and we went to Japan. We like put out a pretty amazing video. And then right around the beginning of COVID, shit just went super south. Like, because of Japan being a retail world, the company that was like funding us, they own buildings and retail stores, and they basically had to shutter every income stream they had because Japan locked down like immediately. And so all our money just dried up like overnight, like boom, no more checks, no more nothing. And not only that, they owned 51% of the company. So they were the majority shareholder of Fact. So we essentially couldn't make any moves, couldn't do anything, couldn't fix it. And I spent the entire pandemic, like 3 years, emailing back and forth between Japan with lawyers and working out how to get the brand back to me and Damon to being able to control it, because we still wanted to go, because we were having like a lot of success. We had a Beastie Boys collab. We were in Dover Street Market. We were like doing it, and it was like going really well. And in that time, we lost our team because like I can't pay anybody. So why the fuck would you stick around? We weren't even making clothes, so there would be nothing to stick around to. So eventually I figured out that like, whoa, like through looking at like all our reports and stuff, that they owed us like $150,000 or so. And so I emailed their lawyers and I'm like, hey, if you guys just don't pay us, can we have our equity to the company back? And so they agreed to like, okay, we won't give you that money and you can get your company back full ownership. So Damon and I own it completely now. And
Sick.
when we got it back, we were like pretty burnt out on apparel at that point, because like looking at just so many t-shirt brands out there, like just constantly t-shirt brand. I mean, it's even worse now. Like everyone has a t-shirt company now because it's the lowest hanging fruit in fashion, right? Like you can make t-shirts and you can make money, low margins, easy to do. So we looked at it again and we're like, Damon's from footwear. Damon's like, should we try the shoes again? He's like, I got some ideas. And in that process, we like kind of locked in on, Damon is a very music driven person. He was in a like synth like dark wave band called the Soft Moon. And he was really like, I think there's something to this like kind of dark synth goth music thing that like his world is really into. And I'm watching the skaters out there that are wearing black denim, black blazers, and they paint over the Nike logo or whatever. And I was looking at fashion and I was like, I feel like there's a market for a sort of a more darker motif in skateboarding, and not even in skateboarding, in fashion in general, just making stuff like we want to make boots. We want to do things on a bigger scale, like kind of pick up the slack where Doc Martens dropped the ball and they're like a cheesy, like kiddie brand now, and they're owned by a private equity company. And we see an opportunity to be like, bring boots and cool things with our knowledge of music and marketing and everything to the forefront. So in doing that, we made this. This is the first shoe we made there. That's our like
Nice.
play on a Doc Marten. Basically, it's like a monkey boot, which was like a 1940s Czechoslovakian military boot, but we put a cup sole on it, so it's like a skatable sole. But this is us having fun. This is like, I want a shoe that I can skate in while we're working on other shit. So the real deal is this thing right here. That's our monkey boot with like the lug tractor sole.
Oh, sick.
Like way more fashion, way more like we've got some collabs coming up that are just insane from the fashion space. And this is more like where our heart lies. And then that shoe was for me. I think really Damon did that so that I have something to skate in. Cause like we like went around and we talked to all our skate shop friends, and it's bleak. Like it is bleak out there for the skate shop homies. And I actually felt like a level of guilt of like, do I really want to bring a shoe in to the skate shop that's already struggling on the wall to clear the dunks? Like it's like getting that bad to where they're like struggling to get shoes off the wall. So like putting another SKU on the wall of a skate shop is like kind of a tough sell right now. So we reassessed and we're like, we're going to make that shoe always and have it on we're not a skate company. You know what I mean? We're like a boot company that has a skatable shoe, and we come from skateboarding. So try and talk shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Balenciaga making a skate shoe where like no one there has a connection. They're just trying to, reap what they can from skateboarders that want to spend thousands of dollars on dumb shit. So our whole take is like, if you want a skate shoe from us, we got it, but we're going to make boots and we're still going to make clothes, but everything's going to be like way more elevated. And we've got some good accounts in Japan. And so we're just kind of slow burning this thing. It's already been since 2016. So almost 10 years now.
Crazy.
So just grinding away at it. It's super fun. It's like a hobby project. You know what I mean? And I've got to I took a fucking bunch of cool kids to Japan and we like wreaked havoc on the streets and had a lot of fun. So anytime I can do that stuff with people that I can help out, and they help me out by skating for the brand and stuff, it's super fun. So really hyped to keep going on that project. So that's fact.
That's wicked,
man. We gonna need some of those boots for up here in the winters, man. That's what those are built for, man.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I remember that video, Campos, young Campos. You had you had an elite team before, like you had the sense to grab those guys young. But
I hate when when we did the Asphalt Yacht Club thing, like they just threw checks at the top names. You know what I mean? We got Tony Hawk's kid. We got the #1 winning Nyjah. We've got Stefan Janowski as the best shoe in the world. Like checks all boxes. We're NASCAR. We're done. And it's just like, I don't like that because it's like, it's disingenuous. You know what I mean? Like when Cam said, like, showed me Joseph's clips, I was like, holy shit. Like this kid's amazing. He's 3 feet tall. This is incredible.
He's one of them ones now. He's fucking.
That was like a proud moment. And like people have asked me before, they've been like, oh, aren't you bummed those kids left? I'm like, no, that's like the role of a small brand is a stepping stone. And look at where they are now. Those kids they played the game perfectly,
Yeah.
Can't be mad at that.
It's sick, because some people do get mad at it, and it's sick that you kind of just know how the game works. You're not going to be bitter because there's like little board brands all over the place with bitter guys.
So what's a day in the life of Ryan Allan like in 2025, man?
Now it's learning Shopify backend and SEO and AI for brands. It's a different grind, And then I shoot a lot of photos for Brixton. They're like the local homies. Their office, I can walk to it. So like, it's nice to work for an Oceanside brand where I'm down here in Oside and like, and then, just grinding on fact, trying to figure out ways to get people to pay attention to it. Cause it's the brain rot out there is very, very real and tough to break through all that noise. And on my computer and mowing the lawn. It's not a drift.
Sick. My man made it living that Cali, or should I say O-side lifestyle.
Yo, I'll tell you a funny story. Remember Josh Rio, the Kiwi that like lived at the house for a little bit? Josh Rio, pro for Element back in the day, stayed up in a drift with us, and he's a Kiwi / Australian that like had a very gnarly mouth on him. But he came down here for a bit when I was living here in the house, and I was hanging out with him. I was hanging out with Dennis Durant. Like, I love Australians. I get along with Australians because you can like shit talk like no other, and it's all good. A day later, I was hanging out with my wife. We were with the kids watching TV on the couch, and we were horsing around, and she like turned and like caught me with the back of her hand, and I dropped the C word on her, the Australian C word.
Oh no. Oh,
and
not in North America.
Like jokingly, but at the same time, in that context, in front of my daughters, it did not look good. So my wife, being the powerhouse that she is, she just points at the door and goes, "Get out." And so like, I just had to get up.
Yes.
I just had to get up and leave.
You
like
me. Oh
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
She put it in its place real quick, and like I learned a lot that evening.
Right, you dropped on me. You need to shut the fuck up or get the fuck out of my house. And she dropped on you. You need to shut the fuck up and get out of my house. That's fucking G as hell, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Enough respect.
She's very much like me, so yeah, she's got it like that.
Love that. So what's next for Ryan Allan, man?
Grinding on fact. We're trying to get some shit going in Berlin. We need to go to Japan. It's just a matter of feeling safe to do it. I literally haven't gone home to Canada because I've been a little shook by the way things are right now. So once that's all cleared up, I'll get on the road and start to kind of setting up communities in Berlin and Japan for fact on the music side and skate side as well. And then shooting skate photos forever and always.
I feel the heat from here.
Yo, it's Rapid Fire with the Ghost, and this week we're honored to be brought to you by the only trucks we ride. That's Thunder, baby. Whether you're swerving on some new insanely responsive taller T2s for all terrains, or flipping into some dip-back Smiths on some inverted editions with inverted kingpins for more grind clearance, Thunder's 2 newest truck styles have you covered. And you know all the best shops got them. Be sure to hit up Menu, Burling, Blue Tile, 9 times in Canada, and Venue, 510, Third Layer, Kingswell, Solstice in the US if you're in need.
All right, Ryan, you know what time it is. A little rapid fire with your boy, D. Japes. Favorite skater?
Joseph Campos.
Favorite video?
Minefield.
Favorite video part?
Every time I think about this, it's different, but probably Underground one, Jake Johnson, Chapman video.
Favorite style?
Whew. It's toss up between Dylan and early Jake Johnson. And I only say that because Jake Johnson's fits in Minefield were fucking awesome.
Which skater had the biggest influence on the way you skate?
I can't do anybody dirty like that. Given my age, you have to go back to like, I don't know, like a Ray Barbie or something, you know what I mean? And I can't say that any of that translated to my style because it's bad.
Most talented skateboarder on planet Earth?
I'm going to go with Joseph again.
Favorite trick?
Favorite trick? I mean, hands down, a good kickflip speaks to everybody.
I knew you were going kickflip.
You knew it.
Hardest trick for you?
Hardest trick that I can do, tray flip. But it's like, I literally feel tired after trying them. So.
Most illegal trick?
Any ride-on grind that doesn't have some element of extraness to it. It can't just be a ride-on grind. Has to be ride-on grind is something crazy.
Gotcha. Favorite clip you've ever gotten?
This is a very small pool of clips. I mean, I really feel nostalgic about the clip I got in True Mathematics Prosperity video from like 97, I think it was. It's like a jump ramp to a mini ramp, and I like back 5-0 across the like off the jump ramp, back 5-0 across the mini ramp, and then drop off the other side. I'm so hyped that Chris Hall put me in that video. Like I couldn't believe it when that happened. It's like the first Mark Appleyard part too.
What's the worst trend you've been a part of?
multiples, but pinwheel hats and V-neck T-shirts. not at the same time, but
That would be a sick combo.
Yeah. I definitely got caught up in the new era fitted thing. Like you guys were into that shit too, but like it didn't fit with my whole thing, but I really liked them. So dumb.
Swagged out to the max.
Dylan fully had me believing that I could pull off a V-neck tee, and like, I see photos now and I'm like, man, it sucks that like an era of like these photos with like one of the coolest people on the planet is ruined because I've got a deep V on.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Instilling confidence in everyone around him.
Dude, it really was true because like so many girls would come up that you'd think you were part of that, but you were not part of
that. That's amazing. What's the gnarliest trick you've ever witnessed?
I mean, I want to say Jeff's 180 on the containers, but there's probably been other ones where, I mean, Arto's back lip at the time seemed like inconceivable. Jeff's was pure balls, but Arto's seemed inconceivable. That was heavy. So maybe that was it, you know?
Hell yeah. It's a great one. What's the one trick that got away? Or if you want, it could be the one photo that maybe didn't get landed that was epic.
I mean, there's a million of those. Let's say the photo that got away that was, I wish I could run it. I was in New Jersey with Jake Johnson and Bill Strobeck. And Jake tried this off a loading, it was like a loading dock and then a handrail that went straight out and then the handrail went down like 9 stairs or something like that. So he switched back 50 down the handrail, like past everything and switched back 50 down the handrail, landed on it, stepped off, sat down, smoked a joint, and he was like, let's go. And I'm like,
Jesus.
Like what? Like you just did it. You just stepped off. You're done. Like just go do it again. And then what happened was he accidentally had sat his cell phone inside the building and they closed the doors and locked for the night.
Oh.
So that immediately, me trying to convince him turned into, where's my phone? Turned into, oh fuck, my phone's locked in this building, turned into this whole thing. And he literally could call it and we could hear it on the other side of the wall. And then so it turned into this whole thing, and that photo, like that never happened, that trick. And the photo is so sick.
What's the biggest bunt you've ever witnessed?
I've thought about this so much. Like, I mean, I'm just going to say that I'm sorry, Paul Otvos, but you basically bunted a lot of things. I love Paul. He's like, I owe him a lot.
Oh, not even getting specific.
No, because like there was several, and I love Paul, and he was just trying to make it happen, and it didn't always happen. So those were like the bunts for sure. Like I don't know, I can't even remember like, oh, I'm gonna go do this and I'm in my head, I'm like, what? And then I would go there and I'd be like, not even trying, you know. I feel bad doing that because I love Paul, so I'm gonna preface with that.
There's nothing wrong with being a bunter, man. There's literally nothing.
I really wanted to get safe on one, but I could not think of like an actual.
I was like, yo, good. I know you're about to try and do me dirty like that.
I couldn't get it.
I'm not much of a bunter, man.
No, I really couldn't think of anybody from the city that actually threw any of those out there. Like none. I couldn't think of anybody.
Wait, now I just said that everyone's obviously the Switch Smith. People are putting me up there with Ryan Sheckler, backside flip El Toro, my Switch Smith claim. Yeah. But OG bunt is like the term's gotten looser where it's like we include claims.
Now it's like a claim.
When it first started, it was just like trying a trick you have no business trying kind of thing.
Yeah. It would be Russian skating off the high ledge at Bay and Wellesley. That was bunting.
Who?
Russian.
Oh, what did he try?
He tried everything, you know, just off a ledge.
I mean, there's been a million of those. Like every pro I've ever worked with has essentially hooked a few things out that are bunts. You know what I mean? And
just
sometimes
check the temperature.
Magic happens. Yeah. Just see how it goes. I'm not putting anybody on blast for that one.
I take it back now. I'm just thinking of so many things I've bunted over the years. Anyways, we'll keep it moving.
Well, I mean, you guys made up the term, so it had to come from somewhere.
It came from Noah T. Fucking bunter. Just kidding. What's the last new trick you learned?
I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of learning happening in a long time. Like easily. Oh no, I'll take that back. I learned slappies during the fucking pandemic that I had never learned before.
Damn,
That's dope.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Dream job after skating.
I mean, I've always wanted to be Anthony Bourdain. I would do that all day long. I would give up being a fucking vegetarian, all that shit. 100% to just travel the world and eat food in like crazy places. I would do that in a second. That's the dream job.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Real good.
Yeah.
Favorite local brand.
Rose Street Skate Shop.
Favorite local skater.
Nico and Indy Jones. I'll put them together.
What's the one sponsor you regret riding for, but we could switch it to working for or like shooting for?
You know what's funny is I've tried to change my thinking on that. I'm a fucking craftsman. I'm a hired hand. What does it matter? Like, I don't even think that I'd like have any regrets now looking back. Like, I'm a hired gun. I'm just sent in to do the thing, you know? So
That's sick.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Favorite teammate ever. And that could be, we could just change it to like someone you team managed or someone you're on a trip with shooting.
Fuck. I think I had some of the best times of my life with Arto. Like, the shit we got into is legendary and hilarious. And I cannot like thank him enough for dragging me around the world and like with his antics. So fun. Best.
Sick. Hell yeah. I full iced me when I hit him for some help.
Oh,
he's got all the stories.
I'm going to roast you real quick. New Balance tour in Toronto, and Arto and you are in the van, and you tell Arto that your mom is like a photo producer or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, like I'll give her your name, like maybe she can throw you some work or something. And I'm sitting there going, I have known you since you were fucking 16 years old, and you have never once said that to me. And I'm like, the Arto fanboy comes out and is like trying to get him jobs.
Oh
That's
my
fair.
God. I didn't even know what the hell you were about to say there. I thought that was going to be way worse, but okay.
No.
Yeah, that's something light.
That was like a little one that just like kind of sat in the back of my mind going, this motherfucker.
That's hilarious.
First of all, you don't know any spots in Toronto. You have no business showing people around.
I brought the Adidas team, or I helped bring them around, suggested a couple spots where some bangers went down. So I'm getting better.
I saw lots of ABDs happen on that.
Yeah, that's a given on any trip, any brand, any city.
They did fuck it up. That was pretty insane.
A lot of crazy, mostly crazy MBDs.
It's nice to see people get after it when they go to the city and not just like go to Dunbat and that's it, you know?
Yeah, it was really cool. I feel like I hadn't felt that in a while, where like a team comes through and you're like, whoa, like Toronto reimagined by some new eyes and crazy talent. It's always cool to see. Worst teammate ever.
Worst teammate ever. So like just someone that I worked with. People that are, okay, I'm going to say Sammy Winter was the fucking worst, but also, but at the same time, I think he was the worst because we are identical. Like his temper is on par with my temper. His like standards on par with my standards. His willingness to party on par with mine. So like, so it got out of hand really quick, and we would be like nose to nose fucking spitting and screaming at each other. And so it became difficult. And I think I was in a bad spot because if I was just the photographer, I would have loved Sammy all day long. Like wouldn't care. But I was the team manager that had to be like, where the fuck are you, dude? Get out of the bar. Let's go. And then also, let's shoot this photo. It's going to be super cool, but fuck you. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's a super difficult position to be in. And Sammy pushed me to my limit, but I love him to death. He seriously one of the most underrated skateboarders. I don't think people realize how good he was because it just didn't translate on film, but insanely good.
Yeah. Wicked skater. And Bunt gang, thanks to you, got him on years later.
Nice.
Okay. Worst company.
I understand and don't understand frog. But I just look at it and I'm like, I don't get it. You know, those guys are all fucking crazy good, but I don't get it.
Worst trend.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God. YouTube skaters. And the lack of gatekeeping in skateboarding in general. Brutal.
We need more
Yeah.
gatekeeping. Okay, worst style.
There's so many now. My Andy Anderson's disgusting to watch.
Yeah. You're not
He seems like a
lying,
nice guy.
and he's so beloved. It's crazy.
He seems like, no, you know what's funny is like I work with a lot of production people on sets, and like they'll be like, oh, you're a skate photographer. My favorite skateboarder. I'm like, Andy Anderson, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, he's for the people. He's not for me. He's for the people.
He's definitely
Yeah,
impressive
entry-level.
to like the untrained eye.
Yeah, my dad probably loves him. Look, he put some Nerf shit on a handrail and grinded around the corner and like,
Okay, Ryan, last but not least, man, who's the last person you want on the sesh?
this one's gonna sting, but it's Thomas Morrison.
Yo, I was almost gonna throw him into a question earlier because you and him used to go hard at each other.
I'm gonna explain why, and explain that I love.
That's a Toronto one for the people out there, but that's our boy.
Well, he filmed Bobby's CBC.
Yeah, he's
All
like,
of his shit,
amazing
pretty much,
filmer.
Incredible filmer, incredible kid. He just fucked up one time, and it just burned his relationship with me in that time. So I'll tell the story. Will Marsh, random sesh. Will Marsh, Jay Brown, and Thomas were staying up in LA, and they called me, and I think Jay Brown called me and was like, hey, we want to come down. We're doing like a day in the life thing with Will or something, and Tom's filming. Would you be down to show us around San Diego? And I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds awesome. I didn't even know Will at the time. I remember he was like the little kid, but I didn't really know how good he was. It's kind of told to me that it's like a day in the life that's happening. So we're cruising around San Diego. I'm shooting photos of, I think Jay was trying stuff. I shot a photo of Will doing his kickflip over a fence, setting up my flashes, the whole thing. Tom's filming everything. And the day ends. They drive back up to LA. And like 10 o'clock at night, I get a text from Jay Brown. He's like, hey, I don't know if this is weird, but like we're at this dude's house and they're like watching the footage of you over and over again of setting up your camera equipment. Like, trying to figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
It was that DeVille dude, and I guess they were staying with DeVille because I think Will was something to do with Powell back then or Bones or something. I don't know why they were there. Maybe Tom had a connection to them. But Jay called me. He's like, this just feels wrong. This doesn't feel like what you were told. I was running kind of a secret setup that now is common knowledge, commonplace. You buy equipment to do it, but back then you had to like rig this whole system to do it. And I was trying to keep it like pretty under wraps, but people knew I was doing something. And so I don't know if like DeVille sent Tom out, like, go do this. And Tom just fucking burned a friendship on that, you know? And Tom is,
wait a minute.
He's my homie. But
Tom went like sleeper cell and just filmed you setting this up.
He filmed me setting all my shit up. Like I was thinking he was filming a day in the life of those dudes.
What the fuck?
Completely forgot about that.
I need to hear Tom's side of this.
No, I've heard this story. Yeah.
And it kind of like bummed me out. And like, I already love giving Tom a hard time, right? So like it just quantified that, like, I mean, exponential burns for Tom from then on out. And like I saw him at the Adrift 20 thing and we kicked it hard, and like I love him. He's such a good kid. And his filming Bob CBC thing was incredible. Like he's a master. So I had to say it because that day, that's like the worst thing you could do to somebody on a session is like try to burn their shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't do that to somebody. Yeah. So, and that was a long time ago, and Tom was a little kid, right? So it's all good now. But that's my there's a million other people I could say, but
yeah. Jay Brown's fucking snitching, eh?
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
He snitched.
I feel like I don't want to put it all on you, but I feel like I became more of a hater once if you influenced me in any way, it was to try and elevate my standards as a skater and just be the ultimate hater. So thank you.
It gets a bad rap now because, you know, everyone thinks that like gatekeeping and all that stuff is bad, but like I hate because like I fucking love this shit so much that it needs to look good. It needs to be X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to hate on some kid at the park that's just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're like trying to tell me that you want to get in a magazine, I'm going to be like, well, this is how it's done, right? Like this is the how you play the game. If it, you know, if your trick is half-ass, it's not gonna get in the magazine, you know? So I got to be honest. It's just honesty, you know? It can sting a little bit, but, and then there's just other stuff where like Cody, I just hated on Cody and that was not fair.
Yeah, unfortunate, but all in all, I know I hate that there's the Cody thing because that was always awkward for me because Cody's one of my best friends, and then you were like my guy who helped me so much. Not that I ever became pro, but I feel like you taught me a lot and, you know, convinced me to believe in myself more than I did at the time. So I always hated that you guys didn't get along, but
bro, I was a Cody truther, man. Me and you didn't have like a super tight relationship back then. I think like
this podcast made me realize like that you're actually like a really good outspoken person. I had no idea.
Well, you said that to me at the Adrift thing. You were like, dude, I never knew you talked that much. And I was like, I just don't think we talked very much at all.
No.
Like you were super tight with like the Ben, Aiden, Safa section of our crew, maybe like Warren and Simon. But everyone from Scarborough, you kind of like, you're like, fuck those guys. Yeah.
I definitely didn't do it because of Scarborough because I think I love Scarborough, but like, strange. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
maybe you guys
are a lifetime ago.
Slightly less loud than Safa, and Safa just inserted himself into the crew, and you know what I mean. And you guys are like a little quieter, maybe. I don't know. No idea.
Crazy, but yeah, that was funny when you're like, I didn't know you talk so much. I'm like, fuck, now I'm talking for a living.
Podcast completely made me go, that fucking dude has a lot to say, and like I did not remember that at all. Your switch heels were like probably the thing that I like caught on, you know.
Those rocket switch heels. That's what it was.
I respect my guy. Right. Let's go, baby.
That's fucking twisted, bro.
That's big, bro.
You just see things in the way people push, and you know, and Cody didn't have the push. And we're back.
Oh no! Back on the stoop.
Worked so hard to build this back up, you know.
I hope he understands that I was an asshole. So. I'm sure he does.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, man, it took 10 years, almost 10 years of the pod to get you to come on, but it was worth the wait.
Ryan, thank you so much, man. Love you. So stoked we finally did
Love
this.
you guys. Appreciate what you guys do, too. Keep it up.
You've got mail.
Welcome back to the Post Office, brought to you by our good friends over at Dickey's Skateboarding. Quality workwear since 1922. From the work site to the streets. Ain't nobody keep you fitted like Dickey's, man. We know this, dog. Year after year, we tell you guys, go get yourself some Dickey's, man. All right, Ghost. The Post Office is back. The people are hollering. Hopefully no more Steelers Nation BS. Who we got up first, man?
First up, Eli Katz, Post Office regular. Beauty. Another season for the people. Thanks, boys. What are y'all's thoughts on Endless Beauty? I think it had the best team dynamic vibes of any video of the past decade. I hope you get some sci-fi guys on the pod in the future for some Jerry stories. Thanks again. Much love from Arizona.
Recency bias of the last decade is a massive claim, but
it's crazy.
like, bro. That was a great video. I liked it. Watched it. Obviously super impressed. Jerry still doing his thing, crushing. Anytime you get to see our main man Jerry on the board, it's a good day, right? Yeah, I liked the video. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, we've asked about a couple people on the team to get them on, and we've already got, I think, 3 people on the team on. So, you know, we're trying to do our thing. But yeah, like Donald said, got to echo that. Jerry still running and still gunning. Cab nose grind revert last trick thing of beauty. He still loves shutting down a spot. And then Ryan Lay, man, that's Bunt alum right there.
Huge
He's
fan.
on team, can't stop, won't stop. Still the biggest boss, nollie stance boss. You dig?
Forget the other guy's name, but there was 3. I forget who that other guy we had on was.
Yeah,
It's not coming to me.
But yeah, no, really, really fun video. Hats off to the whole team. The vibes were high, and always looking forward to whatever they got cooking up.
Great company, man. All right, next up, we've got a voice note from Christopher Tobin. Let's take a listen. Did I just mess up saying Christopher?
Yo, what's going on, Bunt Gang? Wanted to get your opinion on something. I was listening to a clip of Mikey Taylor and Mickey Papa talking about the skate industry and the culture and how it's basically in trouble overall. Like, companies that are only surviving right now are backed by pros with a good Nike check. I don't know if these are the best guys to speak on the industry and the culture. I feel like Mikey's not really in it anymore from, the industry side, and Mickey, I don't know if he's one to speak on culture just because that dude's overall kind of whack. So would you agree? Do you think the industry or the culture is in trouble, or do you think these guys don't know what they're talking about? And as a follow-up question, if you guys needed to pick an ambassador to speak on the skate industry, who's got the best pulse on it all, who would you pick? You guys can't pick yourself. Later.
Dude, nice little two-piece of questions. What was the first question? I actually forgot it.
Like, were they qualified to speak on that? Mikey and Mickey?
I heard that video clip as well. Listened to it. I thought it kind of made sense. They weren't really like coming at anyone, but it doesn't hurt when the guy running the company has a solid check coming from another source on a monthly basis, obviously. But yeah, two guys kind of outside the core of skating right now.
But I didn't hear it. So what was their point? Were they just pointing out that that's how it is?
Basically,
or were they
I think
saying it's whack or something?
No, I don't think they were saying it's whack. I think they're saying that those guys, the successful guys on the big brands, Nike and stuff like that, are able to support other companies. Like Shane has April, Paul had P-Rod, or Paul had Primitive, and Nija has Disorder. Were the three examples he was given.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this over the years. It's been like that forever. BA, gave it a whirl with boards. Alex Olsen gave it a whirl.
You got Girl Chocolate.
Limousine.
Girl Chocolate's doing okay.
Oh, were they saying the only ones doing well are the ones with Nike?
I don't think so, but I think that...
But there's King. Like, I don't know. That's just
Polar,
how it is, man.
Look at Polar. That was self-built. Palace, the same.
Yeah.
I think you can go both ways, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, so I don't really know what their point was, but that's a known thing. Like, if you're doing really well with your shoes and your name's big enough, you want to try and do your own thing in the board world or clothing or whatever, it's just the way she goes, man. Nothing wrong with that.
That's very common nowadays. But, I mean, it's a tale as old as time. People leaving companies to start their own. But better question was his second question. Who is the most qualified to speak on the industry and the culture?
That's tough. You got one?
Well, I might say Sean Malto, man.
That's what I was going to say, too.
If skaters had a union, I think I'd make him the president.
Me too. He keeps, he's the voice of Street League. So, he's paying attention to all that stuff. He knows what's up in the streets. He's done it all himself. One of the nicest people you could ever meet.
Might be overqualified for the position. He might turn it down.
Yeah. Let's go with Sean Malto. Unanimous decision over here. Mm-hmm. You dig?
I dig.
Okay, next up, we got an email from Peter Graves. Hey guys, Hope all is well with you both. Many seasons ago, my guy Christian Morgan, shout out his Nolly Shove Crooks, asked you guys who the most overrated skaters were. I remember one being Spanky. What? Was wondering who you guys think are overrated in the new age of skating. Anyways, take care. And P.S. Tell my boy Crismo he needs to take that kickflip backtail to regular. Okay, I have no idea what email you're referencing from back in the day, but there's no way me or Dono said Spanky's overrated. Maybe it was the emailer.
I think this may have come from was our childhood argument of Gulia Mamalu versus Spanky.
Oh.
Which was taken out of context now, years later. Spanky
but
wasn't
no one
overrated.
at the time thought he was overrated. We were all huge fans of Gulia and Spanky.
Both.
And we just had a crew argument of who was doper, basically.
Yes.
But like we all watched Gulia Battalion 1,000 times, and we all watched This Is Skateboarding 1,000 times. But more importantly, and shout out Spanky, it's great to see you briefly in Montreal.
Always a pleasure running into him, man. One of the real good guys in the industry.
Who's overrated in the new age of skating?
This is an interesting question. Wish I thought about this beforehand.
It's such a diss. Overrated, eh? I feel like it's like not our personal opinion, because like I feel like I rate people. I give a fair rating. The question is like who
people.
do
but like
the masses
in a position they probably shouldn't be.
Yo, the youth these days, they don't even know about PJ Ladd. They might think he's overrated. Who are we talking to recently?
We're too soft now. We're too involved with the industry and too many friends everywhere.
No, I swear, when we were in Detroit, we were kind of having that talk. Not that he's overrated, but just that he didn't like Mason and like some of those dudes are just a little younger. Where like PJ Ladd's Wonderful Horrible Life. Like, you know how like people older than us, they're like, yo, like Gino, like fucking Guy, like all those dudes where we weren't around when they were dropping their monumental parts at the time. Mason was saying the same thing about PJ. He's like, he knows he's sick. It wasn't a disrespectful thing, but PJ just didn't have the same impact. Not that he's overrated, but like maybe in Mason's head, I'm like fucking taking all the like.
Yo, is Gino
all
overrated?
On Mason's shoulders. Is Gino?
Yeah.
Like I just like Mason and PJ Ladd, it didn't have the same impact. Like he didn't have a crazy impact on me at all. Like I respect it, but he's not like a top dude to me.
I could still come up with one. It's fucking overrated.
Just deflected all of that onto Mason.
That was
Mason
not your answer.
Silva
dude.
says PJ Ladd is overrated.
That was not your answer. Lamar Jackson's overrated, but this ain't football.
I'll say one that he's probably fairly rated, but to me, it just was never my guy. And this might ruffle our boys' feathers who were just in Toronto, Carlos and JP, but Luan Oliveira was never really my cup of tea. Maybe overrated to me, but I know he's one of the most talented dudes ever. But it wasn't his street stuff, it was more like his contest shit. Like he would always just do a million tricks in a minute that weren't necessarily the hardest, but he would just like do a frontside flip disaster, get a little bonus points, fucking kick nose something, just fly around doing a bunch of tricks. But just never was a huge fan. But again, respected the talent. He's extremely gifted, but not my favorite.
Oh man, he's probably a nice guy, but Maybe Omar Salazar. Never understood. He's probably very impressive in real life, but I'm just go with Omar.
There you have it. Fucking who the hell
That
made
was
us
hard, dude.
do that, man? Peter, what the fuck, blood? Made us come at a couple legends.
All right, next up, we've got a voice note from Adam. Let's take a listen.
What's up, Buntonians? This is Adam from Long Beach, California. This is not a question. This is purely a statement. Would love to have more baseball talk on the pod. You guys got the Toronto Blue Jays, and they got Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a fucking legend. You guys almost had Shohei Ohtani, but you didn't get it. You did? But, we need to have more baseball talk on the pod. I love basketball. I don't watch it, and I don't give a shit about football. But we need more baseball. Get it? You dig?
Well, unfortunately, the football talk's not going anywhere. That's our bread and butter, baby. Shout out to NFL, and more in particular, NFL Canada. But, man, baseball season, we're about to enter the playoffs. You're talking about the first place, Toronto Blue Jays. Don't get it twisted. And the team goes a lot further than Vladimir Guerrero, all right? So you do a little more research on the Blue Jays, and maybe we'll start getting some baseball talk going, man. I feel like I'm going to get Safa into the playoffs coming up here. He's going to start tuning in. I think we might go to a game down the stretch here, so your wish might get answered, Adam.
We shall see. I don't know if I have the bandwidth for another sport, and that one just puts me to sleep. I just started watching some playoff hockey last season, so fucking that's coming up. I'm more excited. I'd be more hyped to watch hockey than baseball, I think, but appreciate you tuning in regardless, blood. All right, next up, we got another voice note, this time from our guy, Wayland. Let's take a listen.
First off, for clarification, my name is pronounced Wayland Petramo, so Safa doesn't have to struggle anymore. But my question is, what's the best gift or the most memorable gift that you guys can remember giving each other? Like, what's something that you've cherished the most over the years?
What's all this emo shit, man? Wayland.
Oh, man. This is fucking hard, dude. We usually just take each other out for dinner or lunch for our birthdays.
Yeah, I still owe you a way too late birthday lunch, but we've been so busy. Gotta line that up. Well, we were gonna do dinner with Ben, and then even that didn't even happen.
That didn't work out either.
Donald got me a fucking continent of Africa pendant, gold. That was gangsta as hell. Still have it. I need a new chain that fits it because the thing popped on it. But that's mine for days.
What's even more meaningful than a gift to me, Safa gets my son a gift every year for his birthday. Last year it was a Tory Pudwill tech deck. It was a yellow one with a little green turtle, and it had the nice soft grip. And Story cherishes that thing because he loves animals. And Safa, you'll be happy to know that his favorite animal right now is a cheetah. And his birthday is fast approaching, and he's getting a cheetah cake with a bunch of little cheetahs around it. So,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, I might have to. Does he already have a little cheetah toy?
He's got a stuffed animal. But maybe if you could, something cheetah, he'd be fired up, man. Like a cheetah book would be
okay.
But now the gifts for Story. That's the most meaningful shit. Safa's big unk. Yeah, special moments. All right.
Thanks,
next
Waylon.
up. Yeah, he's always in the post office now, huh? Regular. Next up, we got a long one. Obviously landed on me. Coming in from Derek. Let's give this a try. What's up, Bunt buddies? First off, love the pod. Long-time listener, first time writing in. Safe. I'll try to keep it short, as long emails seem to make you irritable. I just wanted to ask yours and Donald's thoughts on elitism in skateboarding. As a lifelong skater that is now in their mid-40s, I never advanced much past a novice in my skate abilities. My entire bag of tricks checks just about every illegal trick mentioned on the show. Now, as an elder skatesman, I'm just hyped to be able to ride around and do a few meager tricks. Be that as it may, even in my prime, I was by no means an exceptional skater, but skateboarding was such an important pillar in my life and the only community I felt I could be myself in, where I felt I belong, and that persists to this day. Where I lacked in ripping, I tried to make up for in giving back to the culture through producing artwork, helping organize events, fundraising, petitioning the city, building, and maintaining at a local DIY. In the last 10 years or so, I've noticed a real die-off in enthusiasm for the community of skateboarding and a sort of emergence of an individualistic elitism that seems to dog whistle to the idea that if you're not ripping, you don't have a place in skateboarding. I know you boys are jocks, and I too am infatuated with the top tier of skateboarding that grease our eyeballs and blow our minds with unfathomable feats of creativity and athletic prowess. It's what makes skating cool and magical. However, my question is, there still a place in skateboarding for the weirdos, the outcasts, the Mongos of the world, whose skills are not on par with the most basic levels we allude to on the pod? And how do you maintain an inclusive skate community when the bar for being good in skateboarding continues to be raised? Maybe these are just musings of a washed-up skater turned middle-aged North American Lumox, but I was curious if you had any thoughts. Thank you for everything you do for skateboarding. I think this pod is an invaluable resource for skate history and current events in skateboarding. Keep up the great work. Oh, and get Kelch on the pod. God damn it, still. Shout out to all the dirty ass natty cats. Go Bengals. Whew.
Oh, finished on a sad note there. Of course, we've got the Joe Burrow news this morning or yesterday about the 3 months turf toe. So sorry to the Bengals and sorry to us because we're driving down there like 9-10 hours to watch Jake Browning now in October.
Do you know they don't even have those carts to drive people off the field in Cincinnati?
I saw that. That's like so insane. He was limping so hard.
It's pathetic.
That poverty, man. They, like, the memes were already popping in the preseason. Like, Joe Burrow's gonna die with this O-line.
No O-line.
And it took less than 2 games.
The team is known for not paying people, and they had to pay 3 top dogs. They held out on Hendrickson for so long. Surprised that even got done. But anyways, this is a skateboard question. And it worries me that you have to write in and send us this email with these thoughts, because this is the place for everybody, man. Well, I mean, I am the biggest fan of skateboarding and this elite skateboarding, but I myself am no elite skater either. The most like average Joe of average Joes, very basic bag of tricks nowadays. And obviously through the pod, I've like found even more love for skating and doing events and meeting all sorts of people. So I hate that you feel this way, man, but this is the community for you. And thank you for doing all that work in your community at the local events, the DIY. Those are the unsung heroes of the skate community.
100%. Also bummed you feel that way. I don't like, someone skilled means nothing. We've met so many amazing skaters that maybe aren't cool people, or we don't have much interest in like having a real friendship with past an interview or something, or meeting in passing. And it's like, skill literally doesn't mean nearly as much as it used to back in the day as far as sponsorship. But I don't think that's ever changed in terms of who people want to surround themselves with. Like example, I just went to Malto's bachelor party and I didn't know most of the people there, but I also didn't care if they skated or not. Like, I don't even know if half those people skate or not. You know, that doesn't really matter at all. It cracked me up. I think it was like last year. Ronnie Kessner told me like that Ish was like, oh, like something came up about me skating or something, and he was like, oh, can he like switch varial heel like on flat, like asking if I could do like a normal ass flat trick. And for a second I was like, what the fuck? But it's like, he doesn't know. But my point is that like Ish is so nice to us. He came to the Bunt Jam, he hung out with us, he's been on the pod, and he didn't even know
edit
if me and Donald made a fire edit, but like he didn't know, and more importantly, he didn't care what me and Donald's skill level was, and he's shown us nothing but love since we met him. So I think it's a little too, you're a little too in your head on the skill thing. And if you are hanging out with people, or there's people in your scene that like segregate based on skill, then they're the kooks. So I would not worry about that one bit, man.
Shout out the Bengals, though. We still coming down. Jake Browning got the dub, so
yo, still
it might be nice.
Scrub ass Jags, crazy. All right, another old head email. Let's get it. Questions about old ass skaters. Question about old ass skaters and tricks. What are 3 tricks over 40 years old, or people over 40 years old, should have on lock to consider themselves still a skater? I'm 47 and slipping. Need some coaching and counseling. Please don't say tray flip. Decade plus listener here. Much respect. John in Boise. P.S. I'm a fireman and we just had a barn that caught on fire. Took a photo from our engine and attached it. Obviously, I was thinking of you guys the whole time.
That's awesome.
Not the best photo, but thanks for thinking of us. I mean, I hope there's no animals in there. Awesome. Definitely no cheetahs.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I think we go
email
flat ground.
When I saw it the other day.
Why? What's up? Why did it crack you up?
Well, because this can't be a serious question. What are 3 tricks over 40-year-olds should have on lock to consider themselves still a skater?
Oh, that part is crazy. Yeah.
Like, coming to me and Donald for that is hilarious, because we ain't like, we're not going to say if you can't frontside flip, backside flip, and fakie flip, you're not a skater anymore. You know what I'm saying? All right, where were you taking this?
I was just going to say, let's pick a flat ground trick, a flat bar trick, and a ledge trick that when we are 40, we still want to have.
Let's go with 50, because 40 is like 2 seconds away for us.
Yeah, okay.
Bro, in 2 years, you're still going to be able to do everything you're doing now.
I hope so. Knock on wood.
It's not like,
all right,
you know.
Okay, I hear you. Flat bar, I mean, hopefully it's not going to be too big, but really like front blunting flat bars. It's a great feeling. Your flat bar trick?
Okay. At 50 on a flat bar, I would like to just have a backsmith still.
Ooh, dude, you did one in Melbourne at the Blue Park, and I was like, damn, I want to do that. I'm too scared. A little bump to bar. That was really good. Ledge trick.
I would love to say switchback tail, but at 50, I don't know if I'm not going to get greedy. If I could just still do a nice chill switch crook, that feels good. I think I'll be happy.
Dude, just Switch Crook just entered my bag of like, I can do those. Nollie Crook. Gotta be Nollie Crook. That one feels great.
Gonna be a lot of nollie noses trying that.
But flat ground, I gotta keep my switch foot, man.
I'm gonna get greedy and just say switch tray. Those already take so much effort. But if I get switch tray at 50, I think I'll be stoked.
Dude, you know what? When I'm losing,
There you have it.
big spin on flat. Just like back big spin. After
Never
all
had
these
him.
years of it being in the bag. Slipping away with old age. All right, you want to do one more?
Sure.
All right, last question of the week. Coming in from Cliff Juratich. Question, hopefully it hasn't been asked already, but you just won SOTY. Name your crew and the location for your SOTY tour. And also, shout out to Seffler's mom for the analytics question. Got me thinking about the business side of podcasts. Can you hit us with some insight about the economics of how a podcast runs these days? Congrats on the van shoe. Shout out Antoine and Richie. Cliff.
Nice. What was the first bit again? Oh, the SOTY.
You just
crew?
won SOTY.
Okay. Oh, that's a fun one.
Let me do this real quick. It's easy. Carlos Ribeiro, Tanner Brzezinski, JP Souza, Jesse Alba, Jake Anderson, Sean Malto, Seifa Benson, Mitch Barrett, and we go to Florida. Oh, and Mason Silva. Maybe I'll leave him out, actually.
Yeah.
Trash he's been talking.
Oh, God. Love that. I wish I beat you to that one because that was the obvious one. Fuck. Well, I would do the same one, and I would add a sprinkle in of Blake Carpenter and Brad Cromer.
This is one up in
Miami.
my SOTY trip.
Watch out.
All right. And can you hit us with some insight about the economics?
I just hit you with the Adam Reed challenge. Where you just said
In
like
New
the
York?
perfect lineup, and then I just added a little something.
A shot of water.
Analytics, yo, sorry, homie. We're gonna keep that private. We do things our way. I'm sure there's way more standardized ways, but we just we're skaters, man. We just figured this out on the fly. There was no manual for us to figure out how to make money. But if you're trying to start a pod and actually want advice, then hit us up. But we'll just keep the analytics what they are.
Dude, it was so funny
behind
when-
the scenes,
when
like Ants One.
When I got to the first ledge spot on Friday, and it was you, Carlos, Tanner, JP skating, and then the filmers doing their thing, you were off on the side taking phone calls. And Carlos said something like the CEO is handling phone calls right now. And it definitely looked like someone on a skate trip, like taking a quick business call. Oh, that's just how it be, man. All right, make sure you get your emails, voice notes, and videos over to thebuntlive@gmail.com. Welcome back to The Rundown, the Skateboard World source for sports, brought to you by NFL Canada. Your home for NFL. Get your fantasy squads popping. We got ours. You guys are going to hear all about it this week. We're going to start with the fallout in fantasy land of the almighty Joe Burrow. You know, I was rocking that Bengals jersey with pride, knowing that I had my main man, Jamar Chase, catching balls from Joe Burrow, and now it's 3 months, dude. Honestly, it looked like it could have been anything. Could have been a bad one with the Achilles, could have been a knee thing, could have been an ankle roll, but we find out it's turf toe, and that's going to cost him 3 months, essentially the whole season, regular season anyways. Like, we're talking best case scenario, he comes back week 14. Week 14. I have two questions. How's Jake Browning going to do? And can T. Higgins and Jamar Chase survive with Jake Browning?
And Chase Brown. 2 years ago, Burrow had a season-ending injury, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember what it was that time, but Jake Browning was in there. I feel like you would remember that being a Jamar Chase guy. And he did pretty well. Like, he's a bit of a gunslinger. He's obviously not Joe Burrow, but I forget his record. I think he was like 4-3 or something. Like, I have to fact check me on that, but I think there's still going to be viable fantasy plays, but just doesn't have that same threatening feeling. Like, going up against them, you're not as scared. But like, Chase just had a mega game, and that was
because and T. Higgins
Browning
had a huge game as well. Partially because they were playing the Jags. The Jags were scoring at will as well. But one thing backup quarterbacks do, they feed the superstars. So I think we're going to see a healthy dose of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Jamar Chase always kind of has hot and cold games. So you always expect that when you draft him. But I think we're going to be okay, you know? I think it's going to be tougher for them to win as a team. But I think fantasy-wise, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, they're still good to go.
Oh, for sure, because their defense is ass. So they're going to, like, Jake Browning's going to need to be flinging that thing regardless. I think they'll be all right. The upside's capped a little bit, but yeah, I don't think it's full panic. And they have a tiny cushion. They're 2-0 when usually they're like 0-2, 0-3, 1-4
For sure.
this time of year. So
they two close games against the Browns and the Jags is insane.
Crazy. I'm just so bummed, man. Like, a big group of our friends looked at the calendar, looked at the NFL schedule, and we picked Cincy Steelers in Cincy
Thursday night.
And like, obviously we wanted to all see Burrow more than anything, and like Aaron Rodgers' swan song, but like, really we're going for Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and hopefully we still get a show. I could see that game still being pretty fun.
I think it's gonna be great.
Best of luck to the Bengals, man.
Another injury in fantasy land. Your boy, JJ McCarthy. I didn't even see it go down. But all night I was watching that game thinking they were going to come back. But the Falcons did their thing, man. And now JJ McCarthy's out for what? A couple weeks?
2 to 4 weeks. Fucking brutes. But yeah, I was nervous. Like, I have him in one of our 2 QB leagues. Watching the first 3 quarters of week 1, I'm like, what the hell? This is brutal. And he obviously goes crazy. Huge epic win. But it still didn't pass the smell test completely. Like, you're bad for most of that game, and then he was just horrible for this entire game. Might be a bumpier road than many Vikings fans, and I'm a low-key Vikings supporter, so not like what we're seeing.
I like that.
Yo, Donald's main man Carson Wentz is the backup, so that should be fun.
I don't know why everybody
Justin
makes
Jefferson,
fun of Carson
man.
Wentz.
Dude, Jefferson's got 4 catches in 2 weeks. I think 7. He had 3 this week, 4 last week. Some frustration, you know what I'm saying, yesterday. But yeah, I'm bummed. Like, Sam Darnold just came in and shocked everyone last year, and McCarthy's kind of doing the opposite. You think like, oh, there's a reason they were willing to let Sam Darnold walk. Like, this kid, it's probably the truth. But I mean, he's 2 games into his NFL career.
A few weeks, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You can't turn on him now. He was not good. He was the opposite of good. He was awful. He could not get the ball out. They couldn't do anything. Yeah, so
I think
whatever.
They had 2 guys
Carson
on their
Wentz.
O-line out, though, because they were getting pressure on him left, right, and center.
Yeah, and he didn't really expect that from the Falcons. Anyways, from the bad news to the good news, the rise of Daniel Jones, one of the top-ranked fantasy quarterbacks right now. putting up points at will. What do you think, man? Is this for real? Is he this year's Sam Darnold?
It's hard for me to believe it, man. It's 2 weeks. They were just fucking marching down the field against the defense that everyone was saying was going to be the best defense in the NFL this year. Again, it's too early to make crazy statements, but I'm going to say he's not the real deal, man. There's how many years he been in the league? We've got all that evidence that he had more. One good season. Yeah. One good season. They made the playoffs. They beat the Vikings and back to shit after that.
For years, the Colts have been a great team, missing the quarterback. They have weapons. They have a good defense. So he's in a great position. And the fact that he beat out and they were willing to move on basically from Anthony Richardson says a lot. They're sticking with Daniel Jones, so let's see. Let's see if I can unload him to Seb's 19 with his injuries at QB in the Money League. Did you hear about Shedeur Sanders?
The one thing I saw was that a contender wanted to draft him and he said no.
The Ravens wanted to draft him to play behind Lamar Jackson, and he told them no. Wanting to go to somewhere where he could have a chance to play, ends up in Cleveland, still no chance to play. The audacity. What a great spot to be in. Lamar Jackson's backup is as good as it gets.
And you know he would have taken him under his wing. Like, Lamar is a real one. That's insane. Yeah, that's unfortunate to hear. Yeah.
The Detroit Lions are back.
But damn.
Did you see? The Detroit Lions are back. Everybody just calm down. Jared Goff doing his thing. Amon-Ra St. Brown doing his thing. Gibbs, Montgomery doing their thing. But there's a new tight end in town. Has he taken Sam Laporta's job?
Oh, was he getting the TDs?
He did his thing again. Crazy one-handed catch. They got weapons all over them. Jameson Williams did his thing.
Are you talking about Tesla?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a wide receiver, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my bad. I thought he was a tight end.
I was like, who? What did I miss? Nah.
Is he a tight end?
Tesla's...
Or he's a wide receiver?
He's... Well, now you got me second guessing myself, but I'm 99% sure he's a wide receiver. You just thought he was a tight end because he's white. Admit it.
I'm not admitting nothing. What's the verdict?
Yeah, he's a wide receiver, blood.
Whatever. The Detroit Lions are back, but we knew they were going to come back. That's not really what I wanted to talk about. Is the Chicago Bears, man. The offseason rumblings of Caleb Williams. Yeah, he's going to have this big year. They got Ben Johnson. The defense is great. Everything's going well. It's not going well, and I don't think it ever is going to go well with Caleb Williams.
Yeah, dude. He's one of those frustrating guys where it's like he has one play that's like insanely beast, and then you're like, oh, that's why they like flashes of absolute greatness, like week 1, that pass running right to Odunze when they're both flying out of bounds. Like that's a rare throw to see in a game.
Yeah,
but then when he just holds the ball, starts running around, running backwards, getting sacked like 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage and shit, you're just like, yo, figure it out. But again, absolute worst coaching situation. His rookie season was a joke. So like we keep saying, it's only 2 weeks into this new season. I want to give him the whole season before really passing.
You want to give him this whole season? Well, he's getting the whole season either way. They have no one else to turn to. He's their prized possession. You got to let this ride. But does it get better is the question. And I'm not too sure.
I think so. I hope so.
Last team to chat about. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs sitting in a spot they've never been before. 0-2. Your comeback player of the year. I don't know if you labeled him that, but you were clamoring for this new workout program Travis Kelce was on. Slim down. He's in the gym. I mean, he's a professional football player. He should be in the gym. But what's going wrong with the Chiefs? Is it the injuries and the ship will right itself eventually? Because Mahomes still looks good.
Dude, the Chargers are not playing this year. That was impressive. The Chiefs still made that a game. No Rice, their best receiver. And Worthy eliminated on the first play. They're down their 2 best receivers. They've got an old Kelce and Hollywood Brown trying to be a wide receiver 1, coming off his injuries last year. And they kept it close against the defending champs, man. So I'm not panicking.
It was a good game.
They've got a nice layup in the Giants coming up next week. We'll get right back on track, you dig?
All right.
Malto,
Any final words?
Here. Chiefs in my Steelers jersey.
Any final NFL words before we get into the new challenge of the season?
A-Rod. Boys, Watt. The defense, we're struggling. We're struggling all the way up and down. We don't get the Jets every week. Let's figure it out, man. Let's get back in the positives. 2-1 next week. Steeler gang.
Just you might have to wait till next year.
The fuck did this thing get in here?
Josh Allen is really just doing his thing on a weekly basis. But anyway, Safa got a taste of a survivor pool this week. A good friend of ours, Phil Mendelson, reached out to Safa last minute looking for a guaranteed winner. Safa threw out the Dallas Cowboys and basically had to sweat to the last minute and then even more into overtime. Some ridiculous kicks saved Safa's recommendation and Phil's survivor pool. So Safa wants to challenge me to a survivor pool. It's just the 2 of us.
Rest
so
of regular season.
If someone loses, it's a point. This is a golf style match where you want to have the lowest score possible. So heading into week 3, my one question is this: if you lose, can you reset to choosing the teams?
No,
or whole time?
Because there's too many teams and not enough weeks. Yeah, the whole time.
Okay,
we gotta just run this up. Who do you want?
So who's your pick
next week? I got mine.
You go first.
I'm gonna hit you with
schedule.
I'm gonna hit y'all with a ghost guarantee right here. We talking about a stifling defense, a thriving young offense, and our boy Matthew Golden is gonna make it pop. Green Bay Packers handle business against the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco gonna get sacked maybe 6 times. Lock it.
That's a good choice. I will go with...
I know you saw the Bills, but you want to save them for later, eh?
I know, but that's a guarantee. The Bills at home versus the Dolphins. But do I need to risk that this early? The Dolphins looked pretty good last week. But I'm going to Kansas City for this one. They're desperate. Woo! They're on the road. Patrick Mahomes will not go to 0-3 in the depths of New Jersey against whoever the hell is that quarterback for the Giants. Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. If you have anything left in the tank, it's got to go down in week 3. I'm taking the Chiefs.
I respect
That's it.
Let's get it.
That's it. That's all she wrote. Thank you all for listening to episode 3 of season 22. We'll catch y'all next week.